and this is match number 4. Welcome to the toss, and this is match number 14 at the 2021 US Open. It has been fantastic so far. We're getting towards the business end now, and teams are looking at where they are placed. They're looking to see how they can maneuver themselves into that knockout phase. So basically, what we have is a number of quarterfinals, if you think about it. At the toss, here for the Scorpions versus Punjab Blues game, we have the captain of the Scorpions, Kyle Kutsa. Next to him, Jaskaran Malocha, the captain of the Punjab Blues. Danny Khan, our umpiring coordinator, the chairman of Cricket Council USA, Mohammed Qureshi, and of course next to me, one of the investors, one of the guys involved with the US Open is Dr. Hamad Malik. He's also a pain specialist. He solves all your pain except the one in the heart. Now, Jaskaran will call and Kyle will toss. Heads is the call.
And heads is the winner.
Heads is the winner. Jaskaran.
You're gonna bowl first.
That's been your mode of operation, bowling. Tell me the thinking.
It's just me personally. I like to chase when you have a set target. Like you can plan your innings accordingly, but they're a quality side. Hopefully, we can restrict them and chase it down.
Well, if you win today, you're inside.
We don't really think about what's ahead, but every day is a new day. Our team is gelling well, and hopefully, we can execute our plans and then restrict them.
Well, let's wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Kyle, no luck of the toss, but I'm sure that you're out. You're ready to fight.
Yeah, of course we are. Like we were disappointed after the last game. Thought we played some decent cricket, but we couldn't quite get ourselves over the line. We created enough chances to give ourselves a chance in that game, and we didn't quite take them. So that's the way T20 cricket goes. That's cricket for you. But we know there's going to be a tough challenge on hand today, but we're looking forward to it.
Tell me the thoughts. Obviously you're here from Europe. You would have been speaking to the other players you would have brought along with you. What's the thoughts about this US Open?
Yeah, look, it's hugely exciting, this tournament, isn't it? The standard of cricket has been exceptional, if I'm being honest. Some high scores on what you'd say might be slightly challenging pitches sometimes, but it's just showing the class of the players that are being brought out to this tournament. So, yeah, look, the tournament's grown from year to year from what I've seen, and this year's probably certainly been the best so far. So.
We're waiting for that knock from you. Hopefully we get it today.
Yeah, hopefully. Look, whoever puts our hand up in our team, look, we back every single one of those players. They're playing well. Look, it's an exciting game of cricket. Just be expressive and see what comes out of it.
Well, that's the news. The news from pitch side is that the Blues, they've won the toss and they've decided to bowl first.
Welcome back to the MAQ TV live coverage here coming to you from the Broward County Stadium. Match number 2, 2 of 3 for the day. Match 1 done and dusted. So Florida Scorpion comes up against Punjab Blues. Punjab Blues would have won the toss and elected to field first.
So we're all set. Kulvinder Singh will start. Will come into bowl to Leverock, and Leverock gets off the mark, just easing the ball into the offside, and brings John Andrew Simpson on to strike. A player who would have represented England in 3-1 international. And so he comes in here, and surprisingly, those international would have been just a couple of months ago in July when Pakistan toured England. So still part of the England one-day international setup. So we're hoping that he can give us a clinic here. He's a top quality player. And Kulvinder Singh, bit of a slip and a slide, and look at that.
Lost his shoe, yes. So what do we know about the shoe and the slipper? There's a story of sort, I think. Is it Cinderella story? Now, if this was in Jamaica, they'll have been singing the song, Just That He's the Man. They say, young man, wear your size.
And Ivor Henry, more than anything else, first of all, you hope that he's okay. Because many times we see Jaskran Malhotra is signaling to the pavilion, apart from him losing the shoe, he's a key bowler here for Punjab Blues. He swings the ball. We saw him the other night. And he's gonna be missed if he's got to go off the field. And the game was at a point in which he is really needed. He opens the ball. And so we hope that Kulvinder Singh, and for Punjab Blues, that he's not badly injured and that he can continue. But he may have lost his footing and his shoe. But in the process of doing that, you never know. The ankle area, you never know. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens to Kulvinder. But play is held up here.
It doesn't seem as if he's in any spot of bother physically. Everything is being attended to. All the attention is to the shoe, and he was ably assisted there in getting him tied. Well,
and I tell you what, Ivor Henry, and speaking from many experiences, you would see. You never know. He may not be comfortable at least bowling today with the shoes situation. The attention now for Kulvinder Singh perhaps is going to be, how do I land? What happens to my shoe when I run up here again? It could play on your mind. It's like a bowler. We've seen a lot of time when a bowler has a no-ball problem, all of a sudden focusing on where my foot is going to land takes away from him bowling effectively. We'll wait and see.
Yes, well, let's hope that's not the case, because they're coming off a splendid win last night in which Ashley Nurse would have really showed his ways. He showed that he's just not a bowler. Like we always say, Leon Francis, he's listening over the entire he said everybody doesn't have to bowl, but everybody has to bat.
So Punjab Blues takes on Florida Scorpions. And we'll talk about the points. Punjab Blues, they're at the top of the table. Well, in fact, they're just under Samp Army, both on 4 points. And here we go, Kulvinder. And a little bit of outswing, and look at that. So it's a dot ball, a couple of dot, in fact, first dot ball. We saw the first ball going for a single.
Yeah, the one moved away from the batter. He looked and he thought he should have been given a wide there, but the umpire thought better of it. He said, no, that ball moved after he would have pitched, gone past you.
So John Simpson. Oh, a slashing shot could find a boundary. It will. So John Simpson on the charge. A nice slashing slice off that outside the off stump, and it goes away for 4.
Yeah, it was over pitched outside the off stump. Given width and with 2 men stationed outside of the circle, it went in that general area. But the third man was fine. Now he has gone square, and then there's a sweeper cover. So it's good bowling. He was, trying to make sure that the ball didn't go beyond the boundary ropes, but it was well placed by the batter.
So ball played into the offside, protection out in the deep. So John Simpson comes into the Florida Scorpions lineup. Would have gotten a 42 in one of the previous game. So he's had a bit of a knockout in the middle. And a man, as we made mention, one of the newest player to have played one international for England. In fact, he's the last one international capped player. He comes in at 263 cap number. And this one is driven well here by Kemar Leverock. And he'll pick up a couple of runs. So Leverock, he's up to 2. In fact, he's up to 3. And you look at that, 8 on the board.
Again, Witt given outside the off stump. That's good bowling. Bowling to his field. Again, one of the 2 men outside the 30-yard circle is that cover point. He went to his left and prevented a boundary.
So Leverock comes out to Bermuda. And the rest of the Florida Scorpion team, partly from Scotland. Oh, cut away! And that's 4 runs.
And it was Ariel gone past the backward point. The backward point thought he was in with a chance of taking that one. It would have been a magnificent catch if he would have taken it, but it got to the boundary in a bullet. Here it is.
Yeah, flew past one of the best USA fielder. Noshtosh Kenjige would have been a brilliant catch if he held on.
Well, 12 coming from that over as over now 1 comes to an end. Well, Jandeep Singh is going to be bowling the second over. He's first. He'll be coming from the com box end, the southern end.
So we're looking at Kulvinder Singh, who would have lost his footing and certainly lost his shoe on the right side of your screen. So Jesse Singh has been given the ball, will come into bowl to John Simpson, a man who comes out of Middlesex in England. Middlesex, you know, Ivor Henry, that's the home of Cricket Lords. Ashley Nurse in your screen there, the man, the hero, just last night, who would have made sure that Punjab Blues get the better of the powerful put-together Samp Army. And we had to wait until the dying stages of that match last night. A good match to go to bed with Ivor Henry.
Yes, not for Carter, though. Carter was the one who was carted out of the park for 2 sixes. And you called it right. You was in the come box at back of us and you're saying, in this last over, Nurse is going to hit 2 sixes.
And Ivor Henry, the reason I said that is that a couple of months ago at the Atlanta Open, Nurse was in a similar situation in which he needed to strike some big sixes, and he did. And sometime from experience, what you have seen before your very eyes.
So he has made it a habit.
Yes. And not only that, as an eyewitness, you know what to expect from a certain individual at times. This one, down the leg side, 5 wides.
Naughty, naughty Singh. The Raiders gone off. He forgot he was bowling to a left-hander. It would have been a perfect delivery for the right-hander. But that's to the advantage of Florida Scorpions. 5 runs from 1 delivery, which does not even count as a legal delivery. So, not a good start by Jasdeep Singh. Not a good start at all.
Yeah, Harpreet Singh, the keeper, would have had a terrible time getting across to a ball that probably bowls in the vicinity of 88 miles an hour or so. John Simpson on strike. Oh, Singh gets a good ball and smashes through the offside. Didn't time it that well. And he eludes the man at mid-off in the ring, and it goes away for 4.
Yeah, he didn't time it all that well, but he placed it well. It was just to the right of the mid-off, and he put in the dive to try to stop it. Let's see, it's on camera. Here it is. Here it comes, and it just eluded his outstretched right hand, and away she goes to the boundary. So 9 from 1 delivery.
So the ball eluding Jaskran Malhotra, the captain. 21 on the board so far.
I showed that raised some eyebrows. 9 from 1 delivery. Well, let's explain it. The first delivery was a wide delivery. It does not count.
And Ivor Henry, and that could keep on climbing For example, if he was to run in and bowl another 5 wides, we'll say it's what?
It'll be 14 from
one
one
more.
delivery.
And then if he bowls another wide,
Oh my, for 5 again, then oh my word, we're going to be adding and adding and adding with just one delivery. But I don't think that Jasdeep Singh, a former captain, is going to be that naughty. Nope.
so Campbell has shown a good intent to score quickly. Played 3-1 international for England. Didn't bat in the first one. Got 17 in the second game. And got 3 in the other game. Was in good company. The likes of James Vince, Ben Stokes, Phil Salt, David Malan. Some of the players are part of the England 1 international setup. John Andrew Simpson is in that. So we wish him well in his international career. Happens to be on his way to big things, maybe passing through Florida.
Yes, well, they've raced on to 22 quick, fast, and in a hurry.
So Leverock on strike. And he gets a good delivery. Can't do much with that. In a tangle here from Jasdeep Singh. Good pace from Jasdeep.
Yes, and making some height. Good bounce. But it was cramped. Did not give him a chance to extend his arm or anything like that. The ball just came back from outside of the off stump and cannon into his upper thigh, and a dot goes into the scorer's book. So we have to give the bull some credit. He has come back well. He's gone for 5 wide, 4, but the last 3 deliveries, dot, 1, dot.
So Jasdeep Singh would know this ground and conditions pretty well. Would have made his one into. Oh, bowled him! So Jasdeep Singh benefits from a very poor executed shot from Leverock. The first wicket falls off the bowling of Jesse Singh right onto the stumps. Leverock will be quite disappointed from the way he got out. It's 22 for 1.
That's a nonsense shot. Look at this. That cheeky shot, the ones that Sasha does not like at all. It looks ugly. Sasha would always say that looks ugly when it does not come off. And there was no need for that. You got 5 wides, you got a 4, and then you would have gotten a single. And you're telling me that you're playing that sort of a shot that early in the inning. That was a naughty, naughty shot. I don't think he's going to walk anywhere close to his coach.
You have all the shots in the book. You have all the shots in the book to play in front. There's so many. This is
Have a look at this, folks. My word.
so McLeod comes to the middle at 22 for 1.
That did not come out of anybody's coaching manual.
Yeah, very poor execution. Shot selection certainly not good there at all from Leverock. And so early into the innings, and knowing Jesse Singh is a quality bowler, and once he bowls the ball on the wicket, not too many chances he's going to get to succeed at those shots. So McLeod comes out. He will join John Simpson. Simpson is on 10. And we've seen the fall of Leverock. Jesse Singh in his first over.
This one is playing a conventional stroke and he's not getting anything for it, but that over comes to an end. 22 for 1, a successful one indeed. So just deep Jesse Singh, we have to let the folks know that that's his pet name, Jesse, though you're reading on the board as Just Deep. He has gone for 1 for 10, and in the 10 it included 5 wides. So not a bad over after all.
So Ashley Nurse has been given the ball. The off spinner will come into bowl to John Simpson. And so Punjab Blues, they've won all their games so far. They've won a couple of games, 2 games so far.
Well,
They beat the powerful Samp Army last night, 165 to 170. Oh, smashed over the offside. And look at that, it's gone a long way off the bat of John Simpson.
Yes, that one has left the playing area. Have to jump fences here to fetch that one. Ashton Nurse, the hero with the bat last night, is coming with the sword. Look at this one. Up, 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 and away she goes over on the grassy bank.
So John Simpson off to a good start. You look at that, he's 16 off just 7 balls. A couple of 4s and 1 6 so far from a very talented left-hander. And just coming back to the point standing, Samp Army on 4. Punjab Blues is on 4. And Florida Scorpions, they're on 2. Punjab Blues would have won against Samp Army and Titans. And Florida Scorpions would have lost to Titans and won against Clarion County. So
Good bit of cricket there. That's a lovely bit of feeling there. It was a good cricketing shot. It was outside the off stump. Nurse guilty of pitching short there, but it was well fielded. And once it would have gone past him, that would have 4 written all over it.
So packed offside field for John Simpson. Oh, he pierces the field, has he not? No, he hasn't. A chance of a run out. The throw comes in. And not out, says umpire Mangesh Rani. I'm pretty sure if this was an international match, he would have gone
upstairs.
He would have gone upstairs. Take a look, trying to pierce the offside field. Very packed offside field. And the fielder did well. It appears to be Jasdeep Singh.
Yeah, he got in.
He got in, but very good fielding from Jesse Singh. Not only to stop the ball, but in one fell swoop, just send the return back in. Good cricket here.
Baseball style. He threw it from the knees. That's what it does. That's what they do in baseball. From the knees, they throw it right to that man standing on the base.
So Colin McLeod comes into strike from this end. Ashley Nurse has gone for 7 in the over so far. So McLeod and John Simpson will certainly form the top order batting here for Florida Scorpions. And let's see what McLeod has done in the series so far. 2 in one match and 30 in the other. So he's had a decent knock in the middle. Nurse has gone for a first ball 6, but he's made a good comeback. This one worked into the onside. They're running quickly. Could pick up a couple of runs. Fielder comes around. Can't prevent 2. And 2 more runs here for Florida Scorpions having been sent in. They're batting at 32 for 1.
Yes, good power play over so far. Remember, only 2 men can be outside of the 30-yard circle. And those 2 men are placed on the onside for the left-hander. Long on and a deep mid-wicket.
So ball worked into the onside. That will conclude over number 3. A one that has given up, what, some 9 runs?
10 runs.
So 3 of us gone 32 for 1.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information, visit maqgroup.com.
So we're waiting for over number 4. The game is going at a rapid pace, which is good. The umpire is in control, umpire Lindo and
Lindo and Mangesh Rani. So the side screen gets moved over for Colin McLeod, the right-hander. And Jesse Singh, I made the point, Jesse Singh would love bowling on this track here. This is where he made his 1 international debut. Might have been against Namibia or Papua New Guinea. And so has played here many times. Will come into bowl to Callum McLeod. They're batting at 32 for 1. They've lost the wicket of Leverock. The ball goes sliding down the leg side into the glove of Harpreet Singh. And that will have to be rebowled.
Yeah, that's what the left-right hand combination will do to you. He's bowling to the right hand at this time, and probably perhaps forgot that he's not bowling to the southpaw. John Simpson has looked good. He looked good for his 19. Slashed a few in the offside, but brilliant fielding would have prevented him from scoring from 2 deliveries.
So another quality delivery here from Singh. McLeod picks up another run. Ashley Nurse quickly onto the ball, and that brings John Simpson back on strike. And I told you John Simpson would have earned the cap, 263 as an one international player for England. And here's a quiz for you. You remember I told you, remember I gave you a quiz and you won it, and you won a dinner. But I'm just wondering if you can make up for this one. Who is the number 1 capped one-day international player for England? Who is the number 1 capped player for England? We made the point John Simpson has earned the cap 263. Well, tell me who's the number 1. Ball played up towards the offside. I'll give you a clue. 1971. Team that included the likes of
Jeff Boycott.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. We have another winner. Ivor Henry says Jeff Boycott, number 1 international cap player for England.
So now it's lunch or dinner. You can let one of the ladies take me this time?
So 2 runs in the over so far. And ball played up towards the offside. A bit of a leading edge here off the bat of John Simpson's 35 for 1.
And I want you to let Virgil Francis and Leon and Mr. Simon know I didn't go to Uncle Google to answer any of your questions.
So Ivor Henry in the box. He's a sharp man today. 3 off the over. This has been sharp bowling here from Jesse Singh. We're still into the power play. McLeod has been relatively quiet, but the team has been going at 10 runs and over so far. So ball worked into the onside. Chance of a run out. He misses the stump. And a quickly taken single here by McLeod and Simpson.
Yes, well, McLeod would not, Simpson would not have been blaming anyone for that. That was his call, and he took off like a deer. A direct hit would have been interesting. I think he would have been on his way from our advantage point.
Yeah, the fielder seems to have been Zia Khan. Barely missing the stumps. Jesse has bowled well in this over. Ivor Henry just 4 runs off the over.
Yes, he started with a wide, which did not go for 5 wides. It was just the wide. It was taken by the keeper, but he's on track. He's on song. Having taken a wicket, he bowled a good delivery. Batsman covering up. Can't score.
Yeah, Jesse Singh would have been in the final last year with 22 yards when they took on the Atlanta Paramveers, and we were asking the question, no Paramveers this year.
Exactly. Well, he was the captain last year, I remember. He captained the team, marshaled them onto the finals, and there's no embarrassing moment for coming second.
Well, this has been a very good over from Jesse Singh. Only 4 runs off the over. First ball would have gone for wide, and then we saw 3 singles during the course of the 5 balls. Here we go. And Simpson is working this one outside the off stump. Still a very good over here from Jesse Singh. Comes to an end. It's 37 for 1 at the end of 4.
Yes, he has gone for some 15, so he has pulled it back some, having bowled his first delivery for 5 wides. 37 for 1 at the end of 4. And it's time for a cup of tea, a Mad Hatter tea. And we're having they do have coffee as well. So let's not forget that there's some coffee up in here. So for you folks who love the coffee, it's Mad Hatter Coffee and Tea. That's the company. Yes, a cup of tea. over number 5 is just about to begin, and Ashley Nurse has bowled a 1 and would have exited the scene. He exited the scene. We have Zaya Khan. He's going to take over from Ashley Nurse.
So Zia Khan, oh, smash straight down the ground, up to a long off, way over the playing area. Off the bat of John Simpson, that's gone a long way.
That's a good-looking shot, and just like Ashley Nurse would have given up a boundary 6.
So John Simpson, look at that, has gone up to 27. First ball he sees from Zia Khan, he smashed down the ground. He's a top quality player, John Andrew Simpson. And along with McLeod, they've put on some 21-run partnership here. We've seen the demise of Kema Leverock earlier on. But so far, a good recovery here from Florida Scorpions.
That ball has left the park by a long ways. If the camera could have spun over there, the guy is way beyond the boundary, way out. As a matter of fact, he went beyond the mound to retrieve that one. We've seen the biggest 6 yesterday hit by Jishan Qureshi, but this has been the furthest the ball would have gone in terms of once it landed, it rolled quite a distance.
We saw Lendell Simmons a couple of nights ago, or a couple of days ago, smashed one straight onto the banks.
Yes.
To the left of the scoreboard. That's a massive hit from Lendell Simmons a couple of days ago. And what essentially happens a lot of time, Ivor Henry, sometimes they'll find a ball that may not have been from this game.
Right.
Because there have been so many balls struck in that area, right?
That's right. So that's why the umpire always examines the ball once it returns to the playing area. He's pulling this one straight, in and out. My word, I mean, the bowler and team would not want that. Having been smacked for an almighty 6, very next delivery, chance on offer, put down.
Yeah, we'll have to see what damage that drop chance will do to the team. But at this level, you would expect a fielder to hold on to a catch like that. And so John Simpson gets a life. And we'll have to now wait and see how much of that chance will cost the team. Trying to pick up the fielder name. Not too sure who he is, but a badly missed opportunity there for the wicket of John Simpson. This one going down the leg side, called a wide from umpire. Is that Jermaine Lindo? I think it is. And Jermaine Lindo does some arm exercise. 8 in the over so far.
Yes, good wicket keeping there. Moved to his left smartly and collected that one in both hands, both gloves. But the chance, let's see if it's going to cost anything more than the one extra. But the bowler has got to forget about that. He has got to forget about that. He is straight down the leg side, bowling to the new man, McLeod. But Simpson is the one who really got the chance.
So Zia Khan will continue. Will come into bowl to McLeod. A 23-run partnership. Big appeal. Now they'll say is umpire Jermaine Lindo. And you've got to be careful with missed opportunity. One could remember Brian Lara scoring 500, and he would have been given a chance. And many times you're given a chance, and what's the worst can happen? You would probably want to say that the batsman will go on to make 100. Well, as in the case of Brian Lara, he went on and made 500.
Yes, indeed.
So Zia Khan will come into bowl to McLeod. Ball worked into the onside. They're running quickly. They're wanting a couple of runs. They will come back quickly. Abdullah gets onto the ball. And not a good throw, but the batsman was always inclined to come for a couple of runs. Good running. And that pushes the score up to 47 for 1.
Yeah, it was always thrown the card because the field in the deep backward square leg was always running to his left. He's a right-hander. He would have had to pick up with his left hand, transfer it to his right, and then try to perfect the throw. The throw was a little off.
So Scorpions with a couple of points on the table. Punjab Blues, they're up to 4 points. And we're watching Zia Khan runs into bowl to Callum McLeod, Scottish international. Can't score this time, and the score remains at 47 for 1. They would have lost the wicket of Leverock from Bermuda. And so far, we've seen a good partnership of 25 between Simpson and McLeod.
Well, one legal delivery left for this, the 5th over. 47 for 1. And McLeod, he needs a boundary. So it comes in now and bowls outside the off stump. A good looking shot, but there's coverage in the cover point, and they can only amble through for singles. So we've come to the end of over number 5. The latest score here at the Broward County Stadium, it's 48 for 1. We're going to have a change in commentators. We're going to have Sasha and Vinod. They're going to be taking it up from here on in.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information, visit maqgroup.com.
Hello again, everyone watching at MAQ TV. It's been a good game so far. Good start for the Scorpions, 48 for 1 off 5 overs. One more over left in the power play. Callum McLeod on strike. He's 6 for 8 at the moment, and just beats Jasdeep Singh into the attack. He's bowled 15 runs and 1 wicket so far. And here he comes for the 3rd over, and that's right on the feet of Callum McLeod, but umpire signals wide as it just goes down the leg side, and that will bring up the Scorpions 50.
Good afternoon. I want to say welcome to a very dear friend and brother, Dr. Nilesh Mehta, who is here. He's a multifaceted man. In addition to being a top medical practitioner, he is a top journalist and also a top commentator. So yeah, so he'll be hearing his voice over the next few days, as he's here to help us out, so to speak. The Florida Scorpions 50 for 1. The 50 has come up. I also want to say good night to a friend of mine out there in the UK. His name is Jack. He sends me a message. He said that he's enjoying the commentary. He's trying his best to watch some of the game, and he's really enjoying it. Good night, Jack. Hope you enjoy your little expedition later, and don't cry too much. I will send Sweet Carolina for you. England struggling, but I think they will beat Australia in this test match. I'll get Dr. Mehta's comment on that a little later on. So the Scorpions are 50 for 1. John Simpson would have played for England in the T20 International earlier this year. He's on 29. Here is Jesse Singh, and this delivery angling into the right-hander. Callum McLeod gets 1. So this is basically, this Florida Scorpion has a lot of Scottish players involved.
They do. Scottish, Irish and English all involved in the team.
Well,
And
then, could we expect them to win?
yeah, I reckon so. A good variety of guys in there. And at least they are going at a good rate so far. 9.6, 51 for 1 off 5.2 overs. Still in the power play. So they'll want to make sure they get a good foundation moving into the next few overs. And here's Jesse Singh.
Yeah, just back off a line. Outside the off, he got the width there, John Simpson. But the length would have been a problem. That one jamming hard down onto the track.
Yeah, you could see he looked a little bit disappointed he didn't do more with that ball. But credit to Singh. He's bowling nicely so far. 3 more balls off his 3rd over here. And Simpson facing. Here we go. Ball number 4. And that's going to be a wide. Down the leg side of John Simpson. And Jesse Singh's going to have to do that one again.
So this partnership so far 30.
Punjab Blues had a really exciting win under the lights last night, so they'll be raring to go today, ready for another win under their belt as Jesse Singh comes up to John Simpson, who pushes it onto the offside for nothing. Field has been tight so far. Scorpions 52 for 1, 2 balls left of the power play. They'll want to make sure to lose no more wickets in this power play and build that good foundation I was speaking about earlier, moving into the middle overs.
Singh has done well, 19 runs. This is his third over. Oh, that's a length delivery and whipped away for 6. A length delivery, but on that occasion there by Jesse Singh, and there was John Simpson. He's batting deep in his crease. Our side-on shot of him just now, I realized that a couple balls ago. He's batting very deep in his crease. So he got a good sighter of that one, and that has been hoiked away. That's a huge hit. That's somewhere into Edgar's van.
Yeah, that moves Simpson on to 34 of his 20 deliveries, and the Scorpions 58 for 1 with 1 ball remaining in the power play. Jesse Singh just taking a moment to collect his thoughts as he comes in for the final ball of the over.
It's a slow delivery, but punched away. This is going to find its way over the ropes for 4. Diving there was Ashley Nurse. He could not stop that one. Singh is upset, but I think he should be upset with himself. That's an over-pitch wide delivery, and anyone can dispatch that into the boundary for 4. At the end of 6, the score is 62 for 1. That represents an excellent power play. It's over 10 runs and over. Let's take a break. Push straight down the ground as straight as an arrow. And again, Callum McLeod is doing the right thing here. John Simpson is making all the movements. So all he has to do is to give him the strike, keep the rotation going, and look to continue this partnership, which is really threatening now. It's close to 40, and Zia Khan will be looking. He will have other ideas.
Yeah, John Simpson now back on strike. As we mentioned previously, he's 38 of 21 deliveries, so going at a healthy rate here as Zia Khan comes in for his second delivery of the over. And John Simpson gets back at him there. I don't think he hit it as hard as he would have wanted, and the fielder manages to get there, but they have run really nicely in between the wickets and got back for 2 there. So Simpson still on strike, and he moves to 40. .65 for 1, the Florida Scorpions. With just the 1 wicket, Leverock going for 7. So important now for Simpson and McLeod to stay at the crease, build that partnership and build total that the Scorpions will feel comfortable defending in their bowling innings.
This is crashed away down to a wide-ish long off. So John Simpson is not going to muck around. He has 41 now, 41 from 23. And what he'll continue to play one way. It's important, though, that Callum keeps calm at the other end, because you don't want to lose wickets at a frenetic pace. We saw that happen this morning. And in that game, where even the Brampton Pacers, after making an impressive 187, they lost 9 wickets. In fact, they lost 7 wickets for the addition of 17 runs towards the end. And that was a collapse. And then the Royals lost a lot of wickets early up, and they just couldn't sustain the required rate towards the end. So you want to guard against that. So I think whilst we are enjoying the batting of John Simpson, McLeod has to lend stability at the other end.
Yeah, Simpson looking like he just wanted to get a new bat involved, hitting the ball nicely, but obviously new bat needed to continue that streak. In comes Zia Khan, and that ball is just punched away onto the offside for no runs, and 5 off the over so far. Zia Khan has gone for 16 runs off 1.5 overs. Last ball of the over to come. Florida Scorpions 67 for 1, with 1 more ball left of Khan's over. And here we go. Simpson facing, and he punches that back down past the bowler's right foot, 4-4, and that's a lovely shot by Simpson, driving at that ball really nicely. He moves on to 45 off 25 deliveries and gets the punch on the glove from Callum McLeod, who's probably quite happy to just watch a fine shot like that.
Yeah, lovely shot. And Callum McLeod showing his appreciation for that bit of work, and he gave him a bounce. You call it a punch, I call it a bounce on the gloves, a bounce of the gloves. Everyone these days seems to be getting a punch or a bounce because of COVID.
Yeah.
And that is what he got there on that occasion. I see my friend Nilesh is getting his notes together in the back of the com box. You know, these doctors, I just have had enough. They are too organized. They're too meticulous.
Very professional.
So are you saying I am not?
I'm saying you're incredibly professional.
Your check is in the mail.
All your notes are in your head, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to write them down. They're all already there.
I live this thing. I breathe this thing. 71 for 1. The man from High India. And Cricket 360, Nilesh Mehta. Not necessarily in that order, though. Callum McLeod is on 9. John Simpson 45. He goes back deep in his crease just to work the angle. And he got 2. So by going back deep into his crease, he was able to work that one to get that extra split second to play that to where he wanted it. And takes me back to a conversation that I had once with Brian Lara. He was very frustrated with a West Indian batsman who continued to play a pretty cover drive straight to the cover fielder. And he was saying that all he needed to do is to just play it a little later. And it'll, if he does that, it'll go to the left of the fielder, or play a little earlier, and it'll go to the right, rather than hit the same fielder all the time. But, you know, that was easy for him to do. It might not have been easy for the batsman at the time.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to have Brian Lara here at the Broward County Park Stadium.
And I introduced you to him, and you just said hi because you did not recognize who he was. That's a cardinal sin.
I was so distracted at the moment, and when you introduce a legend such as Brian Charles Lara as, "Hi, Sasha, this is Brian," and it took me a couple of seconds to just register that wasn't just any Brian. And that's a wide delivery from Kanjigi, And Simpson punches it away. They're going to get a single here. So good rotation of strike. Simpson moves on to 46. McLeod 12 off 14.
Nushtush Keniji plays for the USA national team.
He's got a great name there, hasn't he?
Yeah. Sammy drives. That's a lovely shot. The only man will move is the guy who is manning the boundary boards, and that's Amin Makatia. He throws the ball back, and that's 4 runs.
Yeah, he placed that perfectly. No one down there, as you say, and the fielders on the boundary ropes weren't going to make it there.
So Callum McLeod, he's warming to the task. Scotland has reached 79 for 1. I guess that one you did not notice that. Pulled away down to long on. You're looking confused, Sasha.
A little bit.
I said Scotland was 79 for 1.
Lost you there for a second.
So
I
the
say
partnership
it's
58. Look at him. He's batting very deep in his crease. He's facing the spinner now. He drives. Reminds me a bit of David Warner. I know it's early doors to compare him to David Warner. The heights of David Warner. Not a literal height. But there's something about him that reminds me of David Warner.
David Warner. What can we say about him, hey? He had...
So that's the end of 81 for 1. Hold that thought. We'll be right back.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit macgroup.com.
So John Simpson on strike. He's on 47 off 27 deliveries. Just one strike away from his half century. Ashley Nurse has the ball in hand. He's gone for 10 off his first over. He'll want to try and bring that down in his second. He'll really want the wicket of Simpson here. He's going at a lovely pace. And he's just making sure all the fielders are in the right position for this ball. And here he comes now. First ball of his second over. And Simpson goes for the reverse, and it's given. LBW. Simpson goes for 47 runs.
Simpson plays for Middlesex, not so?
Yep, you can see on his helmet, he's got the 3 swords.
Yeah. When he gets back to England, he needs to sit with Mike Gatting and let him explain to him how much that reverse sweep hurt him. 1987 in India. England about to defeat India in the semi-finals, or was it the quarterfinals? One of those big games, and Mr. Gatting plays a reverse sweep. That was the end of it. So, Mr. Simpson will speak to him about that. 47 of 28.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed to go.
Yep, and Ashley Nurse. Oh, this is getting tiring. Another West Indian dismisses an Englishman.
God, it's a tough life for some, hey?
Dr. Mehta enjoys that in the background.
Current run rate is 9.9, so they're still going at a good rate. They'll want to keep that going, despite the fact that they've just lost Simpson, who was scoring really nicely. But Delray Rawlings comes to the crease to join McLeod.
Rawlings is a good player. We saw what he can do early on in the tournament. McLeod, though, is warming to the task here. And the run rate is 10 at the moment. He's warming to the task. He now has to step forward and allow Rawlings to settle. That's how it works, but normally things don't work out like that. But it should work like that in theory. Play it back. They have a good platform, so Rawlings could take a few balls to soak in and just get an assessment of what's going on out there.
Here comes Ashley Nurse. And another dot ball, so it's been a good over so far. None from it, and the wicket of John Simpson. Be good for him to keep it this tight, and looks like another dot ball.
Yeah, he's keeping it as tight as the economy. Score 81 for 2. Ashley Nurse, the man from Barbados.
And they're just gonna amble through for a single here, just pushed on. And 82 for 2 for the Florida Scorpions. 1 ball left in the 9th over.
Ashley Nurse is the captain, and he controls a club called Guardiola in the Barbados. His mother is also a very big part of that club. And he's a budding singer. Told me yesterday, these days he's not getting enough time to practice that singing. But he has a couple songs out. Most West Indians, you know, they could sing. Dwayne Bravo has a number of songs. Chris Gayle, Andrew Russell, Marlon Samuels, just to name a few. Well, he made a meal of that and then got it back. Come here, where are you going? And at the second attempt, he grabs it.
Yeah, he made sure that didn't go onto the boundary. You saw the panic in his eyes as it went through him for the first time. Watch again here on the replay.
And just after this comes that. And a wonderful bit of work there.
He looked like a cat jumping on a mouse there.
Yeah. You've seen that?
I haven't personally, no. But I've watched Tom and Jerry, so I've seen how it works.
Do you still watch that?
No.
Oh.
Not recently.
After 9, it's 84 for 2. And that bit of work there prevented us from going to break. But at over number 10, we will take a Mad Hatter mushroom break. How is Mr. Haas today? I hope he's okay. Said he's very happy with the exposure that he's getting. I need to get advice from Dr. Mehta about it. I know he's a man believes in good stuff. Outside the off, some driving loosely his rollings.
Tight from Kanjigi here.
Nushtush Kenije. Come on, Sarah, you can do it. That's a wide. Well, that was so wide. You could have called it a broad.
Current run rate of 8.8. Gone down a little bit since the wicket of John Simpson. Rawlins soaking up a few deliveries. He's 1 off 7 and facing Kanjigi now. And no run from that ball.
I'll have to find out from Nilesh if Kenije is an Indian name. He should be able to tell me. He's a learned man. This one is slug swept for 1. So Callum McLeod must push on. He has to be the one doing the firing at the moment. There's no need for it at this present time. They could just play proper cricket for the next few overs because they got a terrific start. 62 in the power play.
Change of field for the last ball of the over. Callum McLeod facing. He is 19 off 17. And here comes Kanjigi. And that's just pushed onto the offside for a single. And that takes us to the halfway stage. Florida Scorpions 86 for 2. Callum McLeod 20. Rawlins on 2.
I put the Florida Scorpions just ahead at the halfway break. So let's take a Mad Hatter coffee break. We'll be right back.
Ashley Nurse picks up the attack from the far end and he loops one up and is driven out to long on. The ambles through for a single. So welcome back, Lenny.
Thanks, Ivor. 59 balls still to be bowled. They're batting at 87 for 2. They're going just 8.5. Not a frightening run rate at all. And so Punjab Blues have done relatively well so far. But Delray Rollins, he has served Bermuda pretty well in the realm of associate cricket. He's still out there. And Callum MacLeod has played relatively well for Scotland over the years. So 88 for 2. You never know. 58 balls remaining.
Well, they were sent in to bat and they're trying to set a target score. They've got to 89 so far. He's pulling out the boom. He's sweeping well. He's splitting the deep backward square leg and the mid wicket, and away she goes for a boundary.
That's a lovely shot from MacLeod. Look at the placement there. As we'll take a look at the replay. Got good wood onto the ball and pierced the onside field. No man moved there. And that's a lovely shot from Callum MacLeod. He goes up to what, 22? And it's 93 on the board.
Yes, Nurse again with a round arm action outside the off stump. He's pulling out all the ways. And there's a man down there who puts in the dive and he prevents the ball from going beyond the boundary ropes. There goes another double. In the 90s now, Lenny, 95 for 2. So Nurse with the last delivery with balls, and this time he's using his feet nicely, driving, but can't pass mid-on. So a dot to end over number 11. Ashley Nurse would have bowled 3 overs for 22, and he's taken a wicket. I thought that was the end of the over from, but I guess not. Down the leg side and a wide, being called and signaled there by the umpire. So the scoreboard were getting ahead of us here. Ashley Nurse still has a legal delivery left. It's outside the off stump. He's square driving, but there's coverage down there. The cover sweeper comes into play, rifles in a throw to the bowler's end. End of over number 11, 96 for 2, Lenny.
So 97 for 2 at the end of 11. Noshtosh Kenjige will continue. Bowled a couple of overs that would have gone for 12. Rollins is on 10. MacLeod is on 22.
The ground is shaded by some clouds. By no means any threat of rain or anything of that sort. We're going to have a full day's play, according to the weatherman. So Kenny J is going to be coming from the southern end, the combox end, bowling his left arm round. And this time he's sweeping again. And he's sweeping and sweeping well again. Oh, that might have been a good stop down there. As he knocked it in as he was just about to go beyond the boundary ropes. I'm sure we'll see that again on TV, but I think he put in a good work. The bowlers and fielders would always like to see that effort. Here it comes. Ball was actually over the rope, but he was inbound when he touched it.
So that'll bring up the 100 here for Florida Scorpions. And so the 100 comes up in the 12th over, bowled here by Kenjige. And we've seen a nice little partnership here evolving with Callum MacLeod and Delray Rollins.
A good platform in which we should be able to see the 200. It's only 2 wickets would have lost in the hut, and they've 100 just gone past the 10th over. They should be able to double the score. Well, 1.5 times. Can we see about 220?
So wide is the signal from umpire Mangesh Rane.
Especially if they're going to keep bowling wide.
Kenji get wide outside the off stump, so Delray Rollins trying to get a big shot in, just tugging the ball from way outside off stump towards the onside, and brings Callum MacLeod back on strike. MacLeod has been there for some time. He's up to 25. And look at that, it's 102 on the board, still 50 balls to be bowled here.
Again sent into bat, trying to set a target. And you know what's in their mind. They're trying to bat the Punjabs out of this game, but with Ashton Nurse heroics last night, it's never beyond the reach of the Florida Punjabs.
And Punjab would have probably pulled off an upset last night. You reckon that any team that gets past this one is driven firmly down towards the long off area. Ashley Nurse makes a very good come around. Restrict the batsman to only a couple of runs.
Yeah, Ashley Nurse looking like a spring chicken there in the outfield.
So it's 104 on the board. Kenjiga will come into bowl to MacLeod. Oh, MacLeod is sweeping well towards square leg and it runs away for a boundary.
Yes, these guys are doing some house cleaning. They've been sweeping, and I'm sure that the Punjab Blues, they're going to have to dust themselves off. There it is, well placed. The man down on the square leg boundary had not a chance in preventing that one from going over the boundary ropes.
It's a lovely shot from Colin MacLeod. He's playing a very good hand here. Look at that. He's up to 31 from 24 balls. And the partnership has gone up to 27 valuable runs here for the Scorpions. They are with 2 points on the board, and so that completes over number 12. It's 109 for 2.
I can say definitely, I should think that from here on in, these guys should be able to get up to 200. We have seen 192 or thereabout, the top score. We have seen a power play in this US Open, 93. That's the record at this time. But here it is, 109 for 2 after 12. We are expecting these two batters who are pretty set now, especially MacLeod. They're sweeping, he's sweeping well. Keeping company is Delray Rollins. He's an 11 from 14. He's going to up that ante at some stage, I could imagine. All of 8 overs left.
So Kulvinder Singh comes back into the attack. We saw from the very first ball that he bowled, would have lost his footing and his shoes.
Yes.
But I hope he's recovered well. He's a quality bowler. And he comes in here for Punjab Blues, requiring a bit of a spell as we come down to what they call the business end. 48 balls still to be bowled.
That's a lot of balls. But fully bearded, he's going to be coming in towards us. That means he will be coming from the northern end.
So Samparmi tops the group with 4 points, followed by Punjab Blues. They're on 4 also, but it's a matter of net run rate separating the two teams. And then Florida Scorpions, they are on 2.
That one kept a bit low, taken low down by the wicket keeper. Batsman was drawing to the leg side, hoping for a shot to pass the short extra cover. There's quite a bit of gap between the mid off, the long off, and the cover sweeper.
So Titans also in this group, they are on a couple of points. So this one is slashed out towards the offside. And only a single. Kulvinder Singh continues to bowl well, Ivor Henry.
Yes, indeed. And this time he's keeping his shoes where they belong, on his feet.
Yeah, they say life is a journey. Wear comfortable shoes.
There it is, yes. Yes.
So 46 balls still to be bowled. Delray has been kind of quiet. It's 110 for 2. Strokes this one up towards the offside. Picks up an easy single. And a single that will take the score up to 111 for 2. 45 balls remaining. What do you reckon could be a good score here? Ivor Henry is still holding on for 200?
Well, Nelson is on the board, so I had to stand on my one leg. But Yes, with only 2 wickets down, and I see MacLeod. He seems to be a good batter.
So ball played into the offside. This has been a very good over for Kulvinder Singh. And we saw yesterday, and we're beginning to see today, Kulvinder Singh seems to be bowling some tidy stuff. And so far, he hasn't gone for quite a few. You look at his bowling figures here, 1.4, none for 15. Not bad.
Yeah, just over 10 runs will get them to the 200. They're going at 8.8. I would think with wickets in the hut, they should be able to get 10, 12 runs in the latter part of the inning.
So playing a miss here from Delray Rollins. And brings the equation down to 43 balls to be bowled. They're batting at 112. We made a point that the highest score in this series has been 192 by Somerset Cavaliers. And we saw 187 posted today.
And let's be reminded that in the previous match, we would have seen a hat trick and a 5-wicket haul. First of this 13th edition.
So 13 overs gone, it's 113 for 2.
And again, we're bathed here in sunshine here at the Broward County Stadium, and we are asking you viewers to tell your neighbors, tell your friends, make a call, share the link. MAQ TV.com. Live cricket being shown here, coming to you from the beautiful city of Lauderhill. And we ask you to stick and stay. We're going to be here until Monday, the 13th, when the curtain comes down with the grand finale. So Arsenas, I guess he's switching around to his preferred end. He's been bowling from the top end. Now he's going to have a chance to showcase his talent from the southern end. Former West Indies player. He has not retired by any means or by any stretch of the imagination. We would have seen Fidel Edwards made his comeback playing in last year's US Open right here, and he got a call up. So Arsenas, I'm sure he'll want to follow. Yesterday we would have seen Simmons. Oh, glorious. He played some real big shots, looking good, looking the part. But Arsenas bowls round the wicket. And this one is switch heading, and it's sweeping for 4. What a shot. I'm sure you're going to see that, and you're going to enjoy it now on the replay. Here he goes.
So Delray Rollins, a lot of risk onto the shot, but he gets it on the full. A well executed switch hit. Lovely shot from Delray Rollins.
My word, you can see everything here at the US Open. I'm telling you, the place to be, the place to watch, it's on MAQTV.com.
So big shot attempted by Delray Rollins. Doesn't go well. And a good comeback here from Ashley Nurse, West Indies player. So 40 balls remaining. A run of ball will give them, what, 157 thereabout. I'm pretty sure they'll push ahead a lot more. This one, Rollins will only get a single out to long off as Jesse Singh is engaged.
Yeah, he was in the back foot trying to butcher this one to the offside.
And
not timed as well as he would have liked. So Arsenas with a double arm action there, trying to outfox the batter. But he got one for his effort.
Yeah, we saw last night Ashley Nurse, the hero of Punjab Blues. They needed, what, 25 in the last 2?
Yes.
And they won the game by, what, 3 balls to spare? Or maybe 2 balls?
2 balls to spare, yes.
Ashley Nurse, the hero last night, but we're far from a batting opportunity here right now. It's still 39 balls to bowl. And then the batting we'll talk about. Ball eased into the onside by Callum MacLeod. MacLeod has played a very good hand. He's up to 41 from 32 balls.
Yes.
And the partnership is 38 between Delray Rollins and him.
And going. And another batsman getting out in the 40s again. The last batsman, Simpson, would have been gone for 47. And you cannot blame me because I was not in the comebacks where I would have had to stand.
So Ashley Nurse getting Delray Rollins in some bit of tangle there. In the end, they scamper through for what could be a run here. In fact, leg by is Mangesh Rani. Lifts the leg, signals their leg by. And so 1 is added to the total.
So MacLeod is in the 40s. So when he gets on strike, I think I have to follow the ritual. I have to stand. This will enable him to get to his 50. I remember the jinx was on a few years ago. There's a batter in the 40s. I was told to stand. And here's more runs for McLeod. He goes on to somewhat 43 now. And the total on to 121 for 2.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit maqgroup.com.
And here's a Mad Hat Tay on right on screen for you. And they do serve coffee as well. Mad Hat Tay. So Atinas has finished his 4. He's 1 for 31. So we're going to have Kalwinder Singh. He's going to come back from the top end. He's gone 2 overs for 16. So 121 for 2. Over number 15 comes up. Last wicket of John Simpson, 47. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's Singh. So we'll have that.
So
change.
Rollins on strike. Ball worked into the onside. Appears to be Zia Khan. It is, as
Yes.
he comes back for his second bowling spell. And so we come down to the last 35 balls. Ivor Henry, any changes to your prediction? Any adjustment that you probably want to make?
Yeah, well, it was not really a prediction. I was just saying that was on the card if they would have kept going, but it seems as if they slowed down quite a bit. So you have to give credit to the Punjab Blues. They would have won the toss, send them into bat, and this one is in the air. It has the height, it has the distance, and has gone all the way over the long off boundary for 6.
Yeah, short and pulled straight down the ground. A lovely shot from Colin McLeod. So he goes up to 49. And he's batted extremely well. Take a look at this one. Short and hammered straight down the ground. And that goes for a massive 6. That's a lovely shot from McLeod.
And definitely I'll be standing for his 50. It's not a standing ovation by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that Vinod said, I jinx batsmen when they're in the 40s when I'm in the comebacks. And 1 year, the first 50 was realized after about the 4th day.
So the partnership is up to 47. And you look at your board there, seeing all the numbers, 128 for 2, still 34 balls to be bowled.
Oh, that's a high
no
full
ball.
toss.
It is a no ball. No ball signaled by the umpire. In fact, both umpires have signaled no ball. And quite rightly so. A bit of discomfort there is Colin McLeod. I hope he's well. But in the meantime, when all is said and done, it will be followed up by a free hit.
Yeah, it's not only just a no ball. I think it's one that's being warned as being dangerous. So you cannot bowl another. You can have a high full pitch, which is not deemed dangerous, where you can bowl another. But in this instance, if he bowls another, I think he'll be pulled out of the attack.
So free hit.
And what a way to get a free hit when you're on 49 not out.
So free hit ball. Zia Khan runs in and will come into bowl to McLeod. McLeod is on 49. He smashes this one into the onside. Doesn't time it well, and that brings up a 50 to the Scottish right-hander. And that's a well-played 50 of quality and elegance. And that comes in the 15th over Ivor Henry.
Well, you know, Zai Khan and his team is saying, job well done. He would have softened him up because that ball would have gone for 6 had he not struck him with that high, full, fast pitch ball.
So Rollins comes back into strike. This over's gone for some 9 runs. Oh, this one is a slashing shot into the offside. Abdullah comes in. And he gets onto the ball a couple of runs here. So things are beginning to look even brighter here for Florida Scorpions with 32 balls remaining. You look at the scorecard, it's 132 for 2.
Well, they'll have to go gung-ho from here now to get anyway close to that 200 is not off the cards, except that McLeod would be hurt. But after 50, I think he can go for glowy.
Well, he's a top player, Delray Rollins. He plays in the English County Circuit for Sussex and represents the Bermuda national team. And has been to the US. I think this is his 3rd visit, so he's a little bit alien to the condition here. Cut away, that's a good looking shot. We'll only fetch him a run as Abdullah is the man, placed it out a deep cover.
A partnership of some 52 between these two, and like I said, they're pretty set. Rollins would have faced some 21 deliveries, McLeod some 36 deliveries, and right after this delivery, we're going to have a change in the come box. So stand by for Vinod and company. 133 for 2. Dr. Mehta. Okay, we're going to have a new voice coming through here. Dr. Mehta is going to be joining Vinod shortly. Down the leg side, he's swinging this one and he's getting all of it, and he's gone for another US Open maximum. So 6 more to McLeod. He's on the charge. Takes his total on to 56 and the overall total on to 139 for 2. I'll take my leave.
Thank you, Iva and Lenny. So at the moment, it's 139 for 2. 5 overs to go. The Florida Scorpions are heading towards an excellent score here, as McLeod leading the charge. Simpson, the last wicket to fall, he made 47, and that was quite a long while ago. Delray Rollins has struggled a bit, but he's still there. He's held up the end while McLeod has pushed on. So McLeod is on 56 of 37. 5 overs to go, and let me say a very warm welcome to sunny Florida, to a very dear friend and brother, Nilesh Mehta.
Thank you, Vinod, for those kind words. Very happy to be here.
Of course, Doc, how was your flight?
Flight was pretty easy. It wasn't very windy or anything like that, so it was a smooth landing. Just as smooth as the Florida Scorpions at the moment. 139 for 2.
And this delivery is hiked away. That's an excellent shot. It's going to go for 4. That shot, he played that with the precision of a surgeon.
You know, it almost felt that it was a premeditated stroke. He knew that the ball was coming towards his legs, and he just hoisted it right between mid-wicket and deep mid-on.
It's a lovely shot indeed. And Rollins goes to 19, so he's starting to feel it now. He's starting to feel to get his range, feeling that ball onto the bat. He has struggled a bit, but if he clicks into second gear, let's see if that can help him click into second gear. Outside the off stump, and looking to crack him square, and that delivery went straight on with the arm. This is another one. He swats this away for 6. A magnificent shot. And Delray Rollins is opening up now, Doc.
He certainly is, and if you look at this stroke and compare it with the previous one, they seemed identical. This one just had more pasta in it, and he climbed
more pasta
and went all the way between mid-on and mid-wicket for a lovely 6.
Thought you were going to say biryani. 149 for 2.
Nostosh would not be happy with the biryani word.
Nostosh, is he from India?
Well, Bangalore.
Sammy hits him again, and that's another 6. It's all happening here at Central Broad. That's 155. What is Nostosh doing wrong, in your opinion?
He is not doing anything wrong. Just Rollins is all over him, and this reminds me of a Suresh Raina in full form, driving those deliveries between mid-on and mid-wicket at will, and we have seen 3 lovely strokes, all aerial, 2 of them clearing the boundary for a 6 and 1 for a 4. Rollins is on 31, McLeod on 56.
So here's Kenije again. That's a wide. That's probably the best place to bowl it.
Well, you never know because Rollins can come across and still hoist it over mid-wicket and mid-on.
This time he tugs it from outside the off stump. That has gone a mile. Look at that.
What is going on here? My God, there is somebody in the stands there or in that area that he's targeting because he seems to be hitting that same spot between mid-on and mid-wicket, and an amazing array of stroke display by Delray Rollins as he moves on to 37 in 26 deliveries.
All of a sudden, this is a lesson in batsmanship. He took his time initially. He was able to assess the conditions well, and now he is ready to pull the trigger, so to speak. Callum McLeod is on 56, Rollins 37, and Nush Kenije. One delivery again to go. He goes at him straight down the ground. That's as straight as an arrow. One bounce into the boundary for 4. And Kenije has reached his half century as well. None for 51 or 4. The partnership is 85. Callum McLeod is on 56. Delray Rollins 41. 166 for 2. More thoughts from the good doctor.
You know, I think Kenije will want to forget this last over that he bowled. He was hammered to the mid-wicket area, he was hammered to the mid-on area, and the last stroke that he played was a textbook straight drive, just lofting it right over the bowler and the umpire's head for 4.
27 in the over.
27 in the over. How about that?
Wow. I think this morning we were very close to getting a 200 by the Brampton Pacers. They ended on 187. There were 3 overs to go at one point, and they were 176. Now, 166, 4 overs to go, 34 runs needed to reach 200. I think this is very possible, Nilesh.
I think Kulwinder Singh might have other ideas, we know, because this man from California, as you know, bowls quite well. Let's see.
Yeah, he swings the ball big.
Yeah.
It's a big swing of the ball. First delivery outside the off stump. And I think that Callum McLeod knows that. Look where he's standing. So he's looking to go wide off the off stump just to negate that swing.
And I think Kulwinder is smart because he's coming left arm around the wicket to a well set McLeod as he comes in.
This time he strikes this powerfully down to a wide-ish mid-on. That's 1.
Among all the bowlers we know that I have seen, Kulwinder Singh is one of those who has a lovely in-swinging delivery, that in-swinging Yorker that fools a lot of batsmen, particularly the left-handed batsmen that Rollins is right now, but he continues to be coming left arm around the wicket. And that was nicely played to long on for a single, as Kulwinder Singh is trying to stop the bleeding that the bowling unit has had so far, and any kind of tourniquet that he can apply, Kulwinder, would be greatly appreciated by his team members.
Kulwinder Singh, very crafty. Look where McLeod was. He was outside the off stump, actually standing, and the lack of timing there, Nilesh, allowed him to come back for 2.
Yeah. Kulwinder, I've spoken to Kulwinder a few times on the phone, and he is in the trucking business in the state of California, and a very humble man, very hardworking man, and cricket comes to him quite naturally. And as you can see, the way he bowls, as he comes in left arm around the wicket, and he pushes it to square leg for an easy single. We haven't seen any fireworks like we saw in the previous over. So Kulwinder certainly has succeeded in stopping some of the bleeding of the runs that was occurring in the previous over.
Well, he won the Man of the Match award at one of the earlier games, and I was asking him during that interview whether or not he listens to the music of Guru Randhawa, and he told me that he doesn't know who is Guru Randhawa. So we'll see. This time, that's a lovely over. Good over there from Kulwinder Singh, and 5 runs coming off it. At the end of 17, it's 171. Let's have a look again.
What do you reckon, Vinod? They'll make it to 200 in the remaining 18 deliveries?
I can't see why not. I can't see why not.
It almost seems that the Scottish Calum MacLeod has just gone quiet ever since Rollins has been on a rampage in the last few overs. 29 deliveries, 42 runs by Rollins, and MacLeod is almost like a supporting role for the moment when he was the one who was the lead taker in the partnership. But it will be MacLeod who will be on strike for the first ball of the 18th over.
So 3 overs to go. 2 well-set batsmen. No reason why they can't get up to 200. That magical figure for T20 match. It means that your run rate is 10.
MacLeod, born in Glasgow, Scotland. Just had his birthday in November last month.
Oh, that's a cheeky shot indeed. 4 runs.
That is intelligent cricket. Just opening the face of the blade, letting the ball come on to you, and letting it run down to third man for 4 easy runs. 175 for 2. MacLeod moves on to 64. Jasdeep Singh, the bowler, bowling his last over. The current run rate, we know, is 10.2 with just under 3 overs to go. So 200 appears on the cards as Jasdeep Singh prepares to come for his next delivery.
Swung away, but there is protection down there. And Calum MacLeod with a bottom hand grip, so to speak. So he's ready. He's not using the long handle. Did he use a long handle or bottom hand grip in your day?
Whatever grip I could get on the bat. The quality of bats deserved a lot to be said, but we'll talk about the grip later on. I want to see now how Rollins handles the paceman. That was a wide delivery, and Rollins just let it go, because the last time he was batting at that end, facing the left arm spinner, it was a clinic, a demonstration of strokes on the onside. Magnificent display.
Well, I think Jesse Singh, a USA national player, has the right idea. At this stage in the game, you need to push him far, push him wide. He's looking to bowl full and wide. The danger is sometimes you may bowl a wide because it's something you're just trying to be inside the line. You see, that's it. And then again, you can execute, which he did there on that occasion. So I think that's the plan, full and wide.
And I think they know, as you rightly said, that Rollins' strength is on the onside, as he has displayed a few overs ago. So Singh is deliberately bowling on the 4th or the 5th stump, not giving him the room to pull those deliveries on the leg side.
So he's taking the onside field out of the play. But what I think I'm seeing an error here, at least in my opinion, there should be a third man. If you're going full and wide, there should be a third man, Nilesh. And that proves my point.
Yeah, and I think in an attempt, I agree with you, Vinod, in an attempt to bowl on the 3rd or the 4th stump, he's missing, and he's already bowled 2 wides, which certainly must play on Singh's mind, as I think he's now going right arm over the wicket because he was bowling way too on the offside. Let's see.
Well, it could be because he's the right-hander is on now, because he has, I think the idea here, Nilesh, is to bowl on 5th and 6th. Very wide. So control is not there. Power is not there. You will see again, even to the right-hander. But this is cracked away. 1, 2, 3 bounces to the man sweeping. So the idea is to don't bowl in their zone.
Not in the slot.
Yeah. Have them stretch, have them reach for it.
I just noticed something, Vinod. If you look at the fielders for the Punjab Blues, a few of them are donning white hats and the rest of them are team hats.
I don't know what's the significance. This time that's 6 runs. That's out of here. Jesse saying bowling a length delivery. It has been pulled for 6.
Rollins says, you know, you feed me this, I'll keep eating it all day. No problem. You bowl in my zone, I'm going to keep pulling it away on the onside.
Well, it seems as if they're going to comfortably get up to that 200. 185 for 2, 12 balls to go. Let's take a break.
Welcome back to the 13th US Open Cricket Tournament here at the Broward County Stadium. Florida Scorpions 185 for 2.
This is a shorthand jab. That's the best way I can describe that. And McLeod has gone a bit cool since the arrival of Rollins. When I say the arrival, since Rollins switched into second gear.
You know, the first over that Kulwinder bowled, there was a bit of a scare. From where we are sitting, it almost felt like he may have sprained his ankle. And but thankfully everything is all right. And Kulwinder is ready to bowl his last over, second ball of his last over. Left arm around the wicket. And he pulls it towards the onside for an easy single. He wanted to place the ball between mid-wicket and long on, but you were telling me earlier about Brian Charles Lara and how the timing of how you open up the face of the blade would help you point the ball in a particular direction, and that is something similar to that.
Yeah, the little nuances in batting. Brian was having a discussion with a West Indian player, and he asked him, what's the first thing you do when this is a misfield that should lead to 2. What's the first thing you do when you go out to bat? And he said, the first thing I do is to take my guard. And then that's his 50 Rawlings as he comes back for 2 excellent innings indeed. He is now on 50 of 33. Yes.
That's a magnificent innings by Delray Rollins, seriously, because the stroke play that he has demonstrated, particularly on the onside, the 3 sixes that we saw between mid-wicket and long on were quite exemplary. And other teams will take notice of Rollins' strength for the next games.
Yeah, definitely. They'll be looking on. They're following these games. Back at their respective hotels. Some of them here are here at the ground. So the situation that I spoke about earlier on is just struck straight down the ground. More runs coming, and they go back for 2. Brian, in a conversation with a senior West Indies player, he asked him, what's the first thing you do when you go out to bat? He said, what are you asking me? Are you playing a joke on me? He said, I'll take my guard. He said, what's the second thing you do? He said, I look to see where the fielders are. Brian said, the difference between you and I look to see where the spaces are.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Kulwinder, left arm around the wicket. And Rollins again in his zone. Magnificent stroke. Over long on for 6 as he moves on to 58. 58 delightful runs.
He's just switched gears, hasn't he?
He certainly has. I mean, ever since he has joined McLeod, it's like... McLeod, you take it easy. It's my game. I'm going to take it over. 58 of 35, as the Florida Scorpions are 198 for 2. We were just discussing, is 200 possible?
Well, Kulwinder Singh goes for some beating now. He's upset about that. I think he wanted that a little squarer. Gets one. End of the over. Let's take a break. It's 199 for 2.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information, visit MAQgroup.com.
So it's going to be Rawlings now to take strike. That's 4 runs. I keep saying, if you're looking to restrict the left-hander by bowling full and wide, you must have a third man in place.
Yep, and that is exactly where the runs are bleeding. And 4 quick runs that moves the Scorpions to 203 for 2. 5 more deliveries in their innings. This is going to be an uphill chase, Vinod.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that Jasker and Malhotra hasn't noticed that. Now he's doing it. I think the bus has already passed. 203 up. It's the first time at the 2013 edition that we have reached the 200 mark. What's your high score, Doc? We'll talk about that just now. Here he is again, and this time this is slashed away. They should go back for 2. I think Rawlings may well go past McLeod.
He has one more 6 to hit and he would be past McLeod. 5-run differential between McLeod and Rawlings, and Rawlings has 38 balls and 65 runs. McLeod 70 of 46 at the moment, as Zia Khan prepares to come in with the next delivery. And he plays it over aerially just outside extra cover. Fielder deep there comes in for an easy single. He wanted to really pull it long and hard over the fielder's head, but mistimed that stroke partially. That resulted only in a single. Any kind of dot ball for Zia Khan would be a win for every delivery that he bowls. 3 more deliveries to go, Vinod.
This is really an amazing score. 206 for 2. And the unbeaten Punjab Blues will be looking to chase that down. I would like to see how Jasker and Malhotra himself approaches that. He's a magnificent batsman, and he is in form. Recently he struck 6 sixes. Was it against Oman? He struck 6 sixes in an ODI. McLeod is way outside the off stump, and that goes nearly over his stumps. What is he asking the umpire?
There was a stroke that he tried to manufacture, and he thought that the fielder at square leg was up and there was nobody covering the boundary, so he thought he could just put it over square leg's head and run over for a 4 or a 6. Not to be. Last 2 deliveries of the innings, and this time he punches it over to extra cover and a quick single for them. So the last ball of the innings coming up, the Florida Scorpions at 207 for 2. Vinod, if you are the Punjab Blues, as you go back into the break, what would you be thinking?
You know, obviously, if you're planning ahead to that chase, you'll have to maximize that power play. You must maximize that power play. Given the fact, though, that it's such a huge total, you have to keep in mind, whilst you're trying to maximize the power play, not to lose too many quick wickets. So it's a difficult situation. I think one thing, though, they could take heart with is the fact that this track is a belter. A lot of runs on offer. Scoreboard pressure, though, may prove to be crucial.
There was a last ball of the innings, and the Florida Scorpions end up at 208 for 2, a very impressive score in their 20 overs. McLeod 71 not out, an amazing innings by McLeod of 48 deliveries, and Rawlings a splendid display of strokes, particularly on the onside, 67 of 40 deliveries, Vinod.
Yeah, wonderful. Liverock at the top getting 7. John Simpson, the England international, 47 of 28. He really got the innings going. Callum McLeod, 71 out of 48. Excellent batting by him. And Rawlings, as you say, 67. The bowling, Kulwinder Singh 4 overs, none for 35. Jasdeep Singh 4 overs, 1 for 43. Nurse 4 overs, 1 for 31. Zia Khan 4 overs, none for 47. And then Noshtush Keniji 4 overs, none for 51. What we're going to do now is to take a short break. When we come back, we continue our coverage. Testing 1, 2, 3. Did you put on the audio? Ask Rod if he's hearing.
First delivery slashed away outside the off stump and the force. So the run chase has begun and begun in fine fashion. That's his Sonny Sohail. He's off the mark immediately with a boundary. And again outside the off stump, eluding the first slip. But there's the third man in place. They picked up a single, so they're doing just what the doctor ordered, trying to get to 208 for victory. They're going to need some heroics, just like last night, 209.
So a good start here from Sonny Sahal. We saw a lovely shot to start things off. Safian Sharif from the media center end. Abdullah gets a good ball. They scamper through for a single in the end. Good one here for Punjab Blues. So they have their work cut out, and they'll need a big performance from a couple of their batters. We saw them last night taking out Samp Army, and tonight or this evening it looks like it's going to be a big performance will be needed here from Punjab Blues. Florida Scorpions would have posted a mammoth 208 at their turn of the wicket. And you're watching Sharif, who will run into bowl to Sohal, and Sohal gets a good delivery, pushes out towards the onside, and things are on the way here for the Punjab Blues. So Abdullah Saeed, big play and a miss, and ball goes through to the keeper, John Simpson. So welcome back, Ivor Henry, and this is a big score, big target, asking 10 and over.
Yes, it's a historical fifth day. Let's put it this way: we have seen a hat trick, we have seen a 5-4, and we have seen the first 200 of the tournament. It's tall ask, could be done, but it's going to be a hard ask.
And the fact is, you mentioned three things there: the hat trick, the FIFA, and the first 200, and it all happened today.
Yes, on day 5 of this tournament.
So Sharif, he has played top-level cricket for Scotland, comes into Abdullah. Abdullah can break free, trying to go big, and that will complete over number 1. So after 1 is 7 for no loss.
Yes, they're starting behind the 8th ball. They're going to have to keep wickets in hand at the same time. They're going to have to keep the wheels turning. We have 2 dots to finish that over, and that's not what the doctor ordered, but they're still there, and that's the important thing. Good batting by the batters from the Florida Scorpions. They were sent in to bat, and they set a target. Let's hope it's not out of the reach of the Punjab Blues. They won one last night. They came from behind to win it. Now again, they will have to come from behind to win this one.
So the pairs, Hamza Tahir will be given the ball. And we'll come in here to bowl to Sonny Sohal. Let's see what Sonny Sohal has done in the series so far. His highest score in the series in a couple of games. He scored 1 in the first game, 18 in the second game. And Abdullah, while we're there, Abdullah has been quite prolific, 47 and 51. So Abdullah has really been among the runs. A couple of big scores for him. And they'll need a big start. They'll need everyone to try and pull their weight here. It's a mammoth score, 202 needed from 114 balls, asking 10 runs and over.
And that's the starting point. Now they're going to have to bring this down to manageable proportion, maybe 7 or 8, and stay in the game at 7 or 8. It simply means that they're going to have a good power play with no more than maybe loss of 1 wicket, if any.
And so the fact is, they would come into today's game brimming with confidence, knowing that they have taken out Samp Army, a powerful Samp Army team last night. They needed 20 plus, and Ashley Nurse did the heavy lifting. So Sonny Sohal on strike. And he comes down the track. Look at that, straight down the ground. Fielder is coming around. He gets hands to the ball, holds on to it, and the first wicket falls. Sonny Sohal is gone. It's 7 for 1.
Yes, Sonny would have struck that one beautiful 6 and was trying for his second, but he held out back over the bowler. Here it comes. It had the height, never the distance. And like I always say, only 2 fielders can be placed outside of the 30-yard circle, and more often than not, they would pick out one of them.
So that's a very good catch by the man out there, and the first wicket goes down.
Here he goes again. Up, 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 but never away. It's up, 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 and taken. Wicket number 1. 7 for no loss. Again, we want to welcome all viewers to the MAQ TV, and for those, especially locally here around the South Florida area, I want to say pleasant good evening to each and every one of you. And just spread the word. We're coming to you live from the Broward County Stadium. This is the 13th edition of the US Open, and it's going in leaps and bounds. We have a lot of international stars in hand, amidst some youngsters who indeed are the future of cricket here in these United States. So stick and stay, live cricket coming to you from the beautiful city of Lauderhill. So take this time to say good afternoon to Audley Watson and Eddie Edwards at this time.
So Hamza Tahir picks up the wicket of Sunny Sohal. And 7 for 1, we are in the second over. Still a long way to go, 202 required from 112 balls.
And Samp Army is hoping for a big win here so that it can push the Punjab Blues behind in case net run rate comes into play, which I would imagine would come into place at some stage. But for now, they have to play what's in front of them. So Punjab.
Yeah, Punjab Blue under pressure here. It's a lot of runs. Abdullah on strike. He's driving up towards the offside. And can't score. This has been a very good over here from Hamza Tahir. We've seen a wicket in the over. Still to concede any run. So this has been very tidy from Hamza. And again, that's another quality delivery. So not too sure if you've seen a lot of maiden wicket in this series, Ivor Henry. I know I joined you guys late, but we're heading for one. If this is a dot ball, that's a maiden wicket.
Yes, I'm going to watch. He's coming wide of the crease. I have to be careful he's not bowling his that back foot outside of the circle, but he's not. The right foot is going this time.
Another wicket!
My word, what a catch. That was like a slip catch. One-handed. It was a bullet. It was traveling at the speed of light. And I'm telling you, this is a double wicket maiden on the card. Do we have one legal delivery left, I think? No, the over is done. Is the over done? Yeah.
So another wicket goes down. Abdullah falls. And a couple of wickets in that over. It's 7 for 2 here at Central Broward Park.
And yes, I think it's the end of the over. So it's a double wicket maiden. We've seen it all on day 5. A hat-trick, a 5-4, a score in excess of 200, and now a double wicket maiden. It's all happening here at the US Open, folks.
So Harpreet Singh, it appears, has come to the middle. And he joins Barhan Johar. And so things have really transformed in benefit to Florida Scorpions. They've picked up a couple of wickets, all courtesy of Hamza Tahir. Look at that, a little bit of bubble. And the fielder holds on to the ball. 7 for 2 at the moment.
Man, that's an excellent catch. One of the best. That's going to be one for the highlight. Of course, yes, he took it on the bubble, but he stayed with it. He kept his eyes on it. It was low. It was almost a grass eater. And he was really struck it with some venom. So Punjab Blues are losing their way, but there's high hope for them because Ashton Nurse is still in the hut. He covers up nicely. But that's not what's required at this time. You have to get the wheel turning, especially in the first power play when no more than 2 fielders could be placed outside of the 30-yard circle, then, Lenny.
So a couple of wickets quickly here for Punjab Blues, and they were always under pressure at the end of the innings, having to chase 209. And we were into the third over, and you look at the scorecard, those are not good numbers here for Punjab Blues. They've done well in the tournament. This one is flicked away nicely here by Johar. We'll only pick up one, and we'll now bring Harpreet Singh on to strike. 8 for 2.
Yes, Sharif, in his second over, he has gone for 8 so far, but that's not a worry in that column.
And Ivor, what will essentially happen if Florida Scorpions wins this game, and they're in a strong position at this moment to do that? It will simply mean Samp Army, Punjab Blues, and Florida Scorpions will go up to 4 points. And I want to think Florida Scorpions will go to the top of the table based on they've scored 208 here, and their net run rate should be quite superior to the other 2 teams. So all of a sudden, with just one match win, having scored 208, they could be the top of the table at the end of this game should they win this, and which they are in a good position to do that.
Yes, well, they have to win it convincingly. They have to bowl the Punjab Blues out for minimum score in less than 20 overs to really, really up their net run rate.
So Sharif will continue. Man comes out to slip. He goes up to what? A short mid-wicket area. And we've seen excellent catching from Florida Scorpions. We'll try to pick up a couple of the fielders' name. One in particular, that one to dismiss. Sohal in the air. Another chance here given. And
taken.
The catch.
Yes, of course, taken right before our very eyes. Wicket number 3. Could you believe it? That one had the height, never the distance. I'm sure you're going to see it on the replay coming up shortly. My word, here it comes.
So lofted into the offside. And look at that, a good running back catch. It appears to be Kyle Kotzer, the captain. And he holds on to it. And another wicket goes down here for Punjab Blues. They're struggling here at 8 for 3.
Yeah, he held on for dear life. I'm telling you, he's like, I'm not going to let this one go. This one means a whole lot to me. It was like catching a baby, preventing it from falling onto the concrete. And here it is again. Up, 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 had the height, never the distance. It comes down into the safe palm of the captain. He spread eagle and said, I've got it. I've got my man. And look at the excitement. My word. And like you were saying, they've got to win big. And one way to win big here is to bowl these guys out, especially out of 10 overs.
So Jaskaran Malhotra comes to the middle. That's the catch for you. The catching has been brilliant here from Florida Scorpions. Look at that. Kyle Kotzer comes up with a catch. Not too many people will take a catch like that, but he's done that.
Yes, the ball was always over his shoulder. He kept his eyes on it. This is one for the highlights. You can take this to any instructor, and they will use this one in a highlight.
So Jaskaran Malhotra comes to the crease, but Borhan Johar will be the man on strike, or play and a miss. And everything seems to be going right here for Florida Scorpions. Not only have they batted well, but their fielding has been so impressive. Talk about their catching.
We would have seen one chance put down in the innings of the Scorpion, which would have cost them, I believe.
Well, they cost them 25 runs off the bat of John Simpson.
Yes,
fielder Saini would have put down John Simpson.
I think he was on 22?
He was on 22 and he ended up making 47. So Johar on strike. Here is Sharif.
Oh, and here's another in the air. Let's see if this... No, it's going to fall in no man's land. My word, I'm saying at the end of the 3rd over, the latest score here at the Boward Central Stadium, it's 9 for 3. Time for a break.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit maqgroup.com.
So could it be scoreboard pressure that is preventing these guys from settling down and try to get very close to this score?
So we've seen some impressive catching from the Florida Scorpions team. We saw an excellent running catch from Colin McLeod. We saw a little bit of bubble from Richie Barrington. And not too long ago, we saw a swirling catch from Kyle Kotzer. So the catching has really been very impressive.
Yes, Tahir comes in, and this time he's getting runs here. It's going to get very close to the boundary, but the man gives chase, puts in the slide, and in the meantime, the batters would have crossed for 2. He takes it into double figures. They're on 11 for 3. So Hamza Tahir is going to try to keep things tight. He's got 2 of the 3 wickets that would have fallen so far.
So we saw yesterday Borhan Johar played a very good hand. He's a quality player. Oh, this one is in the air. He's giving someone a chance again. Takes another catch. And so the 4th wicket goes down. And that appears to be Kyle Kotzer, if I'm not mistaken. But it doesn't matter. It's 4 wickets down for 11.
Well, Johar has got to go. Here it is on the replay. Swinging one from outside off. It goes into the air. Went very, very high, but that means for naught once it come down in the powers of the young man there, and a beautifully taken catch. When they're high, when they're that high, sometimes it's difficult to take.
So another wicket goes down here for Punjab Blues. And those are not good numbers that they'll like, but that's how they come. Great catching by Florida Scorpions. And all of a sudden, Punjab Blues, what a difference a day makes. Last night they were riding high, but today they are struggling at 11 for 4.
And we're only in over number 4. Florida Scorpions would have asked to take first knock, and they really wheeled the willow. We've seen the first 50 of the tournament. No, not the first 50 of the tournament. We've seen the first 5-4 of the tournament. We've seen the first hat trick of the tournament. As a matter of fact, we've seen the second 50 of the tournament. How many we would have seen?
Well, I think you meant we've seen the first double 100.
Yes.
We've seen the first hat trick.
Yes.
We've seen the first double wicket maiden.
Double wicket maiden, yes. And the first 5-4. That is it. There it is. I know there was 4. There it is.
So Shehan Jayasuriya comes to the middle to join his US national teammate, Jaskaran Malhotra. Malhotra tees off. It's gone all the way straight down the ground, just to the left or to the right of the side screen. And that has gone for 6.
And he has sent a message. He said, you can take those in the infield, but you cannot catch 6. Here it is. Up, 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 height and distance. At one point, I was thinking I would have seen air hostess.
So Malhotra will have to come extremely good today. They're under pressure. They're batting a 17 for 4. They need 192 from 98 balls, asking 11.7.
And that was Malhotra's first delivery that he struck out of the park. Is he sending a message? He'd have to have a hurricane century here if they ought to come anywhere close to this 209 that's needed for victory.
So Jaskaran Malhotra in this series has scored 24 and 30. And everybody knows by now he's a record holder. The ball turned into the onside. Allows Shehan Jayasuriya. Well, in fact, Jayasuriya will have to wait as the over completed, and Jaskaran Malhotra will be on strike when play resumes. 18 for 4.
Yes, and just to finish your sentence, he would have struck 6 sixes in an over. 6 consecutive 6s in 1 over. Not an easy feat. Pollard would have done it. Singh would have done it. Herschel Gibbs would have done it. The great Gary Sobers would have done it. Well, are we going to see a bowling change? Are we going to see some medium pace from this end?
Yeah, it could be. So at 18 for 4, we've seen 4 impressive over here from Florida Scorpions. And what essentially has happened here, Ivor Henry, the catching has been brilliant.
Yes, indeed. 18 for 4. They have not put down any that is within their grasp. There was one that was skied, but he fell in no man land. No one could be faulted for that. But those that came to hand, they would have taken those. Well, scoreboard pressure. Could that play a part here?
So Jelani Seals has been given the ball. And a very good time to come in and bowl, where you're asking 12 runs and over almost. It's 191 to win. And he starts pretty well. Jaskaran Malhotra, very accomplished players, has really accomplished a lot. And when I say a lot, it's not easy to hit 6 sixes in an over. And he's done so. Very few men in the world in so many years of playing cricket has not done that.
Well, he settles in now. He's have to do some rebuilding. 4 of his fellow men would have been sitting in the hut, never to return in this match.
So Seals runs in, comes from the twin island of Trinidad and Tobago. Ball plays up towards the offside and can't score. So We'll be making the point. A win for Florida Scorpions here will keep the table quite interesting. 3 teams will tie up on 4 points each. And based on the fact that Florida Scorpions has amassed 208 here, that will certainly lift their net run rate. They could be on top of the table. And the others being Samp Army and Punjab Blues. Oh, swung away. Ball heading down the leg side. 1 bounce and it goes away for 4. Malhotra and Jayasuriya and Punjab Blues will need quite a lot more of that. But that's a lovely shot for 4.
Yes, indeed. It was a bad delivery. It was always angling down the leg side, and Malhotra not going to miss out on that. He's too good a batsman. He was up on one leg, swiveling, and took it 1 bounce down to the deep fine leg boundary.
So Group B or Group 2 will get very interesting. Samp Army, Punjab Blues, and Florida Scorpions will tie for 4 points, and then it comes down to the dreaded net run rate. Sometimes by a fraction of a point you can be out or you could be in, and so we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be an interesting day, and tomorrow of course we're beginning to have an idea who will advance to the playoff round. Oh, lofted into the onside. Look at that, off the bat of Jaskar and Malhotra, and another 6, another boundary here off this over. We've seen a 6, we've seen a 4, and that one has gone all the way.
Well, Malhotra goes quickly on to 19 from 7. And Jayasuriya is yet to face the delivery.
So a couple of 6s in this over. The first one would have gone for 6. So a correction there. 30 for 4 still. They've lost a lot of wicket here. And we've seen some brilliant catching from the fielding team. How good they have been. How impressive they have been. So Jelani Seals has not been treated rightly here. A couple of 6s, but he's bowling to a quality batsman in the form of Jaskar and Malhotra. And he will have to play a very big hand if they're going to get close or overhaul. 209. Oh, through the offside, but straight to the man at cover. And that's what Florida Scorpions have really brought to the table. Not only they have batted well to score over 200 runs, but their fielding has been so impressive as Nilesh Mehta will come into the box along with Sasha Kreis at the end of this ball. So 178 to win from 91 balls. We're in the 5th over. And Jelani Seals, young fast bowler from Trinidad and Tobago. And a ball that goes outside, in fact, over the batsman head. That completes the 5th over. That completes our spell. And the latest score here at Central Broward Park, it's 31 for 4.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do
Sasha,
business in today's complex market. More information, visit macgroup.com.
Welcome back to this exciting match between the Punjab Blues and the Florida Scorpions. Punjab Blues reeling at 30 for 4 at the moment. Sasha, it seems like the man who is at the crease right now, Jaskaran Malhotra, and his partner Shehan Jayasuriya have a lot of work cut out, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got a lot to do here. It was a huge total put on the board by the Scorpions, the biggest we've seen in the tournament so far. And here we go for the 6th over of the match. Delray Rawlins in for his first delivery, and it's a dot ball.
I think, Sasha, Shehan Jayasuriya's role is going to be take quick singles and give the strike to Jaskaran Malhotra, who's got the magic touch, doesn't he? He is known to hit big 6s, known to have big scores, and. Let's see what Jayasuriya does now.
He swipes at that ball and it goes onto the leg side for the single. And exactly what you said, Jayasuriya has just rotated the strike to get Malhotra back on into the strike. And he's currently 19 for 9. And as you say, he's a big hitter. We've seen him hit some huge shots in this tournament and also elsewhere. And it's going to be really important for him to continue doing that in this game today. And Rawlins, really good first few balls of his first over, keeping it really tight, just the one off it so far. And their current run rate is 5.5. They're going to have to really up that if they're going to get this total. And another swipe from Malhotra, and that races down to the boundary. They look for 2, but are going to stick with just the single as the ball is thrown back, and Malhotra gets hit by it, but doesn't look too bothered by it at the moment. Partnership of 21 so far.
Just Karan wanted
one more ball left before the end of the power play. They're 32 for 4. And the wickets are going to be the really worrying thing for the Punjab Blues. And that ball is swiped away onto the leg side and is fielded nicely in for just another single. So Rawlins, 2 off his first over. Really nice tight bowling there from Rawlins. The Scorpions, as I've mentioned before, put a huge total on the board. And the Punjab Blues are going to need more than 2 and over in order to get there. In fact, they needed more than 10 per over at the beginning of the match, and it's going to be even higher at the moment. Partnership between these two is 22. Punjab Blues 33 for 4, and that's the end of the power play.
Sasha, I didn't mean to leave you all alone in the comm box, but Vinod Mamchan wanted me to come out for a quick photograph with one of his friends who's visiting from out of state.
It's okay, I know you've got to do your part-time modelling work as well as the commentary here, so happy to take over while you stepped out briefly. As you can see, after the power play, Punjab Blues are 33 for 4, and Stephen Mullaney has ball in hand and dot ball to start the over.
I think Jayasuriya will have to figure out this relatively quickly to change strikes and bring Malhotra into strike, because the longer he kind of hangs around without scoring, it's going to be a mounting score.
Exactly right, and that is just nudged through onto the leg side. Are they going to look for 2? No, happy with the single. I think they're going to have to start pushing here, aren't they?
They certainly will need to, because each run adds up as time goes on. Even in the previous over, Shasha, I thought that that single should have been converted into a 2, but it wasn't. Malhotra on 20, Jayasuriya on 3. It's Malhotra on strike right now facing Mullaney. Punjab Blues have a lot of work cut out, 34 for 4.
Yeah, here comes Mullaney. And again, just push back to the bowler Mullaney. A dot ball, and the Florida Scorpions are going to be more than pleased with these dot balls. They probably felt fairly confident coming into the bowling that they had enough runs on the board, so there wouldn't be a huge amount of pressure on the bowlers, but dot balls are going to make it even easier. And that's a good ball from Mullaney, a little bit fuller, and that's pushed over to long on, and they'll just get the single from it.
Malhotra had a single all day long. The on-side field is wide open. All the fielders are on the square leg boundary, mid-wicket boundary, long on boundary. But I think he's eyeing for 4s or 6s at the moment.
Yeah, I think they should start putting a little bit more pressure on the fielders, though, if they're going to want to get this score. That was a nice shot down to the boundary. But again, just the single, but does bring Malhotra back onto strike. And I think the Punjab Blues will be pleased with that, but just 3 off this over so far. It's been a really good over from Mullaney, the English player coming over. I believe he plays at Nottingham Cricket Club. And again, looks like they're going to stick with the single. They really could have pushed there. The fielder wasn't really under any pressure, seeing that they weren't going to try and push for 2. And at the end of the 7th over, Punjab Blues 37 for 4, chasing a huge total of 209, I believe.
This is an innings that Jaskaran Malhotra will have to build as time goes on, because he is the main pillar that is going to bring them home if they are going to climb this Herculean task of this massive score, which incidentally happens to be the highest score of this 13th edition of the US cricket here at the Broward County Stadium.
Yeah, it's been an exciting day today. We've seen the first hat-trick, the first 200, and the first fifer of the tournament. So day 5 has not disappointed.
And Sasa, you must be pleased with the weather. A little cloudy makes you feel like home back in London.
Yeah, exactly. I say when it's a bit overcast, this is exactly the kind of weather that Jimmy Anderson lives for with his swing bowling.
Talking about Jimmy Anderson, he's been rested for the Brisbane Test. He's not playing at the moment.
Yeah, I think he had a little niggle, and it just meant that he had to sit out of the first Test, which may prove rather costly for England, but more of that later on today as Chris Greaves comes into the attack. And that ball has raced away to the boundary for 4, and Malhotra moves on to 26 of 15. He's going to need to get a few more of those, isn't he?
Yes, absolutely. That was a stroke he was waiting for. Slightly short pitch delivery, and he rumps on his back foot and just pulls it towards mid-on.
Yeah, Punjab Blues move on to 41 for 4. 7.1 overs gone, and the required run rate is going to be building here. Here comes Chris Greaves again, and that is huge. That has gone miles. That is a maximum here at the Broward County Stadium. And as we said before, he's going to need to get a few more of those. He's going to need to get a few more of these, the 6s rather than the 4s, but he won't be too upset with the 4s.
That ball went a mile away between the flags of United States and Pakistan, way on the hills. As somebody I know by the name Vinod Mamchan, the ball went all the way to the islands of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, they've done well to find that ball. That went a long, long way. And Chris Greaves, not a great start to the over, 10 from it, off just 2 balls. And this is exactly what the Punjab Blues are going to need. Partnership building between these two batsmen, 36 so far. And Punjab Blues 47 for 4 as Greaves comes in again. And that's just pushed onto the offside boundary. And just a single, I think. So Jaya Surya is going to take the strike now.
And there again, for a moment, we would think that those were 2 runs, because there was all the way down to deep point boundary, but the speed at which the ball travelled, Jaskaran felt it was just a bit too risky for the second run, as Greaves bowls the next delivery right arm over the wicket, and that's a wide. That's the kind of deliveries he would not want to bowl and give anything for free. Let the batsman earn the runs.
Yeah, exactly right. I think Scorpions, as I say, will be quite happy with the total they've got, but they don't want to make it too easy for the Punjab Blues to get close to. And that is going to be another single. Lovely shot again onto the leg side.
There was a large gap between deep mid-wicket and long on, and he was trying to attempt and go in that region, but the ball went straight to the fielder and only 1 run. Jaskaran has 2 more deliveries to face off of Greaves in this over, and he's probably looking at the mid-on, mid-wicket area. And this time he places it beautifully deep to third man. That is intelligent cricket. Jaskaran just opens up the face of his bat and lets the ball run down to the boundary.
Yeah, Mullaney the man close to the ball, but as you say, it went quite fine down to third man, and Mullaney was just too far wide to get close to it. So another 4 for Malhotra, and Chris Greaves, expensive over so far. Let's see what he can do with his last ball. Better line and length. think they're just going to get the single. But again, they could have really pushed for the 2 there.
This time they actually walked for a single. They didn't even run.
You're right. You're exactly right. And Greaves finishes his first over for 17. So Punjab Blues are going to need a few more of overs like that if they're to reach the huge total that the Florida Scorpions put on the board.
Looks like Jaskaran needs a change of gloves. No, I think he just wants a beverage.
Yeah, I think probably a message or two from the Punjab Blues bench just to let them know what their strategy is for the next few overs. We are at the end of over 8, 54 for 4 Punjab Blues. And Malhotra is on 38 off 19. He's going at a good rate at the moment.
He is. Sasha, what do you think about the stadium here? You come from London and you've seen so many picturesque grounds. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, Mulaney in for his second over. And that was bowled onto the pads of Malhotra and just pushed away for a single. In regards to your question, this is a beautiful ground. As you say, there are lots of lovely grounds around the UK, and I'm lucky enough to live very close to Lords, the home of cricket. And I have to say, this one is really beautiful. We don't get many palm trees over in the UK, so it's nice to have them in my sight. And that's a swing and a miss. And that's going to go all the way down to the boundary. John Simpson missing that as wicket keeper. And that... Oh no, I think he got touched to it. And so 4 runs goes to Jayasuriya. Let's watch that again.
This partnership is building quite nicely. 48 so far. We are in the 9th over.
Yeah, sorry, my mistake. He did get an edge on that, and it went through John Simpson's legs for 4, as the umpire signalled. And that is pushed away again. They're just going to run another one. I don't quite understand the strategy going on at the moment. They do have a huge total to chase down, and these singles really aren't going to get them there. I understand, you know, building this partnership, staying in, don't want to lose any more wickets, 4 down at the moment, and I suppose later on in the game they can start swiping at it, but don't want the required run rate to get too far ahead of them, as Mulaney comes in for ball number 4, and that's much better from Mulaney, right up close into Malhotra, and the best he can do is just nudge it back to Mulaney.
When I meet Jaskaran after the game, I'm going to ask him the question, the story about the white hat that he's wearing.
Yeah, it's an interesting look. And Mulaney in again. That's just thrown across for another single. And again, my confusion builds. Partnership now of 50 between Jayasuriya and Malhotra. So they are building nicely, and Jayasuriya 10 from 10, Malhotra 40 off 22. So they're not looking bad, but you know, they're going to need a lot more of these overs if they're going to win this match. And I think that was an edge, and that's going to race away for 4 down to third man. And was that a missed opportunity by Simpson?
I think it was a bit wide, Sasha, to be honest, and to be fair to the keeper. I don't think that even a full-scale dive would have caught that delivery into his gloves. So let's cut him some slack here, don't we?
Yeah, sorry. He is doing a great job there. And actually in the first match he played for the Scorpions, he got a ball to the lip and had to go off and get a little bit of treatment for it. So it's good to see him back, and luckily no real damage done. So at the end of over number 9, Punjab Blues 65 for 4. If you were a betting man, who do you think's on top at the moment?
As long as Jaskaran Malhotra is at the crease, I would never count the Blues out, because he's one man who can change the dimension of the game with 1 or 2 overs. Story that 6 sixes in 1 over he has done, so he can do anything. So again, he pushes it towards extra cover for a single, giving the strike to the left-handed Jayasuriya. You know, when you see Jayasuriya bat, he almost reminds you of that stance by Shivnarayan Chandrapal of the West Indies, with that open stance. Not that open, but and when I talked to Chandrapal a month ago, and he was telling me about that stance, and this time he hoists it over mid-wicket, goes all the way for a 6. That was a brilliant stroke.
Lovely shot by Jaya Surya, who moves to 20 off 12. And that's 7 so far off the over of Rawlins. He was really tight in his first over. Just 3 from it. And he's going at a little bit more expensive in this over so far.
When I was talking to Shiv Narayan Chandrapal about the open stance, his theory was that it gives you balance.
Here comes Rawlins again. And that's just nudged down. Again, just for the single. And Malhotra, like you say, is a big hitter, and he's going at a good rate here. But as we say, he's going to have to start, moving this game along. On strike now with the white hat, and that was a wider delivery from Rawlins, and they are going to run for 2 this time.
I think, Sasha, you sent them the message and they heard you.
I'm glad. Rawlins, 13 so far of his 1.4 overs. 2 to go until the halfway stage. Punjab Blues 75 for 4. Let's see what they can do with these 2 balls from Rawlins.
That's into the gap. They should come back for 2, and they do.
Yeah, good fielding from the Scorpions. They're keeping it tight. They're putting a little bit of pressure on these batters out there, but they are rotating the strike nicely, which keeps the game moving, keeps the game interesting. But they're going to need a few more boundaries. And last ball of the 10th over. And looks like they're just going to get the single here. And Rawlins finishes his second over for none for 16 off those 2. Punjab Blues 78 for 4.
So we are at the halfway point, Sasha, and now what do you think? What do you think the strategy will be? They have to kick it in high gear now.
Yeah, I reckon these 2 need to stay in. That's probably the first and foremost. But they're going to have to step up a notch, move on to the upper gears. And as I say that, we're going to have a change of gears in the commentary box as well. We're going to have Ivor Henry and Lenny Archibald. We will see you shortly.
Well, the last week it has seemed as if it had been a long time ago. Welcome back, Lenny, as we continue in over number 11. These guys are putting on a good partnership here. Jawsura is on 21 from 13, and Malhotra is on 47. Just 3 away. I think I should just go through the motion and just go ahead and, well, when he gets on strike, I'll do that.
So 130 to win from 59 balls. Colin McLeod. He has batted well, and probably if we can have a look at the previous scorecard. Can you do that? Let's see how much he made. I know he batted impressively well, but we're back with the cricket, and this one is attempting to cut. Doesn't go well here for Jaya Surya. Both batsmen are part of the US national setup, but with an asking rate at 13.4, it's going to be a tough one here. Pulled away towards the backward square area. A loose delivery, given a lot of width and a little too short, and that's pulled away nicely by Jaya Surya.
Yeah, that's a poor delivery. He's bowling round the sticks, starting from outside off, and that was always drifting down the leg side, outside the leg stump. We call it a free hit, and he made good use of it. Swiveled for 4.
So at the end of 10 overs, when Scorpions batted, they were batting some 86 for 2. And at the end of 10 here, Punjab Blues on the chase, they were batting a 78 for 2. So a bit of a gap there, but it's what happened towards the the ending of the Florida Scorpions innings that made a big difference. We saw a big knock from Delroy Rollins and also Colin McLeod, who's been there for some time. Both batsmen got among the runs and lots of runs. Was able to post the highest score of the series so far.
Yes, some 208. So at 209 for the victory for the Punjab Blues, and they've recovered somewhat, even though it's 13 runs and over. That's not out of the realm of overhauling the 209. With the likes of Jayasuriya and Malhotra at the wicket, I think it's really, really possible.
So this over's gone for 7 so far from McLeod. He's having a very good day. And Ivor Henry, the catching has been brilliant here from Florida Scorpions. So that ends over number 11. It's 86 for 4.
Yes, a partnership of some 75 and growing. I think they need to stay. They need to stay at least up until the over number 16. And then when the party would have started, if they're there with wickets in the hut, I don't think net run rate is going to be on the minds of Samp Army anymore. They're going to just hope that the Punjab Blues would lose.
Can you bring up the scorecard? No, don't move. How do you bring down this? I want to see the previous. That your computer? So Jelani Seals gets a second bowling spell, and he will come from the far end of the ground. First of all, would have gone for 13. Not very good. And will come into bowl. In fact, first of all, would have gone for 12. And will come into bowl to Jayasuriya. We've seen a good partnership here, but the asking rate has really gone up to 13.67. And they're going at 7.8.
Is he about his run up? I guess something would have gone wrong. I know he has to bowl, so he cannot be that. He's going to be hiding the ball or what have you. But his first delivery, trying to get it right. You have to get it spot on. He wants to do well for his team. They would have done well in the bat. Now the bowling has got to defend this 209 that is required for victory. 86 for 4 as Seals.
So Jelani Seals and Jayasuriya is steering this one away. Gets a single and hands the strike over to Jaskran Malhotra. And the asking rate has gone very close to 14 runs and over. We'll have to wait and see, but at this juncture of the game, you would have to say the Florida Scorpions in control. And a win here will put them to 4 points, along with Samp Army and Punjab Blues. A win here for Punjab Blues, on the other hand, will put them on 6 points. Nobody has 6 points.
And I'm sure that's what they're aiming for. No one wants to settle for second best. Like I said, these are two-set batsmen, so 14 runs and over is not by any stretch of the imagination in 2020 cricket far and out of reach.
And Ivor Henry, you know Florida Scorpions know that they have a lot of runs to play with. And they know, flicked away. That's a lovely shot off the bat of Jaskran Malhotra, but the fielder comes in and does a good job preventing the boundary. A couple of runs here to Malhotra.
Definitely good feeling. He came all the way from deep back to square leg, went round to the long leg position and really prevented a boundary.
So that's Richie Barrington. Took a catch in the offside. We saw today a little bit of fumble, but he was able to hold on.
Was a good catch.
And we saw impressive catching from Kyle Kotsera. A couple of catches for him. A ball long up in the air, and then also we saw a brilliant catch from Colin McLeod. He's having a very good day, Colin. So another single here from Shahan Jayasuriya. The required rate has gone up to 14 runs and over, 119 to win from 51 balls.
This is definitely a good over in progress here by the young man, Jelani Seals. He's keeping both batters in check. The third delivery and not a boundary. They need boundary in every over if they want to keep pace. If they want to come anywhere close to overhaul this 209 that is needed for victory.
So today at the US Open, it has been a very eventful day. Some We've seen some big performance, and Jayasuriya has brought out the ramp shot. We saw him playing it yesterday, and it didn't go well. In fact, if I remember correctly, or maybe not, but I think he got out with one of those cheeky shots.
Yeah, but there's no need for that. Yes, no, he needed a boundary, and probably he would have caught the fielders unaware of that stroke. But you can play your conventional cricket at this time, conventional stroke. Try to get a boundary the conventional way. Because if you're out contour sasha, you look stupid.
So this has been a better over here for Jelani Seals so far. Ball driven into the onside, and they'll only get a single up the deep square leg. But Jelani Seals has bowled a better over here. I remember his first over from the media center end would have gone for 12, and he's made a good comeback so far. He's bowled 5 balls. He's only conceded 5 runs, and well within the required rate of 14.5 runs and over.
And that's what good captains do. You have to put confidence in your bowlers. Do not allow the batters to knock them out of the attack. Put the confidence and say you pick the ball, you have to come back and bowl, sir.
So Jaskaran Malhotra, he's on 51 of 30 balls. And the partnership is some 80 runs. Here is Jelani Seals. Ball is driving up towards the wide cover area. That will complete over number 12, and after 12 it's 92 for 4.
Well, they needed a boundary in that over. They were not successful in doing so, but to take the total up into the 90s, it's 92 actually from 12. Jayasuriya is 29 from 20, and Malhotra 50 comes up. So he gets to 50, and a good knock from 31. He came in when his team was in a spot of bother, but he has sailed through some rough waters. There's still some high waters out there, I can tell you that. But as long as he's there, there's hope for the Punjab Blues. And the partnership is into the 80s now. I think it's some 81, 82, somewhere thereabout. We'll confirm that shortly.
So 81.
On screen you can see the US of A flags blowing in the wind. It's off screen now.
So Molani comes back into the attack. The ball worked into the onside. Malhotra picks up another run. So the asking rate 14.8 at the moment.
But that's good bowling there. You realize Malhotra was making room to play one into the offside, and the bowler followed him and cramped him for room and aborted any aggressive shot that Malhotra would have had in mind. That's good bowling. Good thinking.
So look at that 82-run partnership. It has been a good one, but we're talking about getting runs on a deadline here, and that's the real problem. Oh, smash down the ground, and this has gone a long way. It's out of the playing area. Shahan Jayasuriya picks up a 6, and that will only help the cause here for Punjab Blues.
Yes, that was overdue, and it's been quite a long time. We have not seen one of those. As a matter of fact, a stint here, we came back in the 11th over, and it took them some 8 deliveries to get it across the square.
So good strike from Shahan Jayasuriya. Stephen Malani, none for 22 so far. And he's driving and driving well. Field out there, that's Delray Rollins. Only a couple of runs. And the scorecard keep ticking. So that brings up the 100 here for Punjab Blues. And so they need only 108 from 45 balls.
Yes, and the partnership has grown to 90. So that too is going to be another landmark if they can realize the 10 while they're there at the wicket. He's going in the air, but just out of the outstretched hand of the man in the mid-off position, and they ambles through for a relaxing 2.
Yeah, a couple of good strikes off the bat of Shahan Jayasuriya in this over. The over has gone for 11. They require 14 plus here.
Well, it's
this has been a good start. Sometime in getting to 14, 15, and 16 runs and over, they've got to be a base, and there is one here. Ball worked into the onside. And Ivor Henry, what we have seen here between Jayasuriya and Jaskaran Malhotra, their partnership of 93 so far. While it has been a very cautious one to some extent, they've followed up the big shots with still tapping the ball into open spaces. And both Jaskaran Malhotra and Shahan Jayasuriya, you look at the partnership, it's up to 93. Oh, this one is launched into the deep, and it's gone all the way. Jasker and Malhotra has teed off here. It's 110 for 4.
Yes, indeed, and that's a good looking over there for the Punjab Blues. 2 mighty sixes coming in that over. And some 17 runs coming from that over, I would think. That's what the doctor ordered. They missed out on striking the boundary in over number 12, but they made up for it here in hitting 2 mighty lofty blows, 2 sixes. But permit me, keeping it around 14 and over is not going to work. They have got to target a big over and target one of these bowlers for over 25 in an over.
So we've seen a little fight back here from Jaya Surya and Jasker and Malhotra. The partnership has gone up to 99. And in this particular match, it could be the second 100 partnership here. We've seen some tall partnership during the course of Florida Scorpions innings. And we're just on the verge of seeing another 100-run partnership. We saw 127 from Delray Rollins and Callum MacLeod. And now we are on the verge of seeing a second 100 partnership here between Jaya Surya and Malhotra.
As he comes in now, he bowls, and this time he's playing a late dab but can't score. There's a man right up in the 45. I'll take this time to say hello to Mr. Samuel Plummer. I understand he's over there in Texas and he's viewing all of this on MAQ TV. So, Mr. Plummer, we will be seeing you here shortly in our neck of the woods for the Ireland-US match. That was my understanding. This time he's going in the air. There's a man down there, and he takes the catch. Wicket number 5, and what a way. They did not make the 100 partnership. Your jinx.
Yeah, the catching has been so brilliant here from Florida Scorpion. Anything that have gone up have gone into the safe hands of the Florida Scorpion field. And look at that, another catch in the deep. 110 for 5, and 110 for 5.
And I just got the stare down from Sasha. She said it's my fault because he was on 40 and I did not stand. And that wagging finger like Ogwama. That was my fault.
So Callum MacLeod comes up with a well-judged catch again. And guess who walks to the middle and will have the similar job to do as he did yesterday is Ashley Nurse.
Night Nurse, all right. Let's see if he's going to be lights out. Well, he has to repeat what he would have done last night if they ought to come anywhere close to this 209 that is required for victory. But he's meeting a set Jakaran Malhotra, who is on 59 from 33, so he has got to play his part. There's no time to wait. Sometimes they say the batters leave the hut without their eyes in. So, and after they would have batted for a few balls, all of a sudden you're hearing the eyes are in. So I don't know what they were batting with before. But nonetheless, cricket, lovely cricket here at this, the 13th edition of the USA Open. We want you to stick and stay because we still have another game after this to conclude day 5.
So Cavaliers 22 yards will play next. They take on NDCC. Cavaliers on top of their group. And so a lot of big talents, a lot of big names in the Cavaliers 22 yards lineup. And North Dallas Cricket Club will be hoping that they can salvage some bit of pride in this tournament. Hamza Tahir continues to bowl well. We saw him in the earlier part of the innings getting a double wicket maiden. And what exactly is a double wicket maiden, Ivor?
I mean that we were all dots. They did not score, and he would have struck twice, sent back 2 batsmen to the hut.
So Ashley Nurse comes in here with 98 to win from 39 balls. He's a big hitter of the ball, and similar, well, even more, a more bigger task than what he came in to do yesterday. But we saw he bringing Punjab Blue home against Samparmi.
Okay, the Nelson is on the board. Let's see if gonna bring him some luck. Well, he gets off the Nelson. And he stroked this one out to the deep mid-wicket area. A stroll in the park. He gets off the mark. He's 1 of 2. That brings the hard-hitting Malhotra, who is on 60, to make good of this last delivery. It doesn't make sense to bat a single and get at the other end. He's got to go big. But good bowling again, that he can only strike it out to the cover sweeper for a single. end of 14, 113 for 5, and now the asking required 108 is probably somewhere in the region of 15, 16 as a matter of fact. So it's going, and like I said, Lenny, they've got to target the bowler to get some 20, 30 runs out of an over. Maybe it's a good time to have a cup of tea. Yes, the Mad Hatter tea, we're taking that break. They do serve coffee as well. You need some mushroom coffee? They can get you that. Also, the CBD chai, the Third Eye chai. Have you had any of the Mad Hatter tea as of yet, Lenny? Well, you ought to try it.
So Delray Rollins will continue the attack here for Florida Scorpions. And so the asking is 96 to win from 36 balls. We've seen another good bowling performance by another bowler, Hamza Tahir. And he's picked up another 4-4. We'll go through the list of all the bowlers that would have taken 4, and Harsh Thakkar, who broke the barrier today by taking 5. So we'll quickly run through the list. So some of the 4 wickets hauled we've seen in the series: Karima Gore 4 for 30, Jonathan Carter 4 for 40, Jacobus Pinar 4 for 11, Dane Johnson 4 for 25, Hamza 4 for 12, and the best of them all 5 for 34 from Harsh Thakkar.
And he stands alone. Well, it is Rollins now trying to work his magic here to keep Nurse on strike, which he, well, yes, he does. And so dots are like gold dust at this time. Nurse has got to get the wheel turning or get Jackawan on strike. Cannot wait too late.
So Ashley Nurse settles and wait for Rollins. So he goes big, doesn't time it well. Fielder comes in, and they'll only get a single. But you see the intent here from Ashley Nurse. Does not have a lot of time, and certainly not a lot of deliveries. 33 deliveries to get 94. And he will have to get cracking quickly.
And that's definitely a hard axe. It's like climbing Mount Everest. Have you ever attempted to climb Mount Everest? Lenny says no. Well, left arm round, and he's sweeping, but along the ground, and there's coverage at the deep backward square leg. As the throw comes in, the singles and the poles are not going to do it. They need fences. They need some fence.
So the boys from Cavaliers, 22 yards. The boys from Cavaliers, 22 yards in the background, just warming up for their engagement with NDCC. And that match comes up next. A good-looking shot here from Nurse. Will fetch him runs. In fact, we'll only fetch him 1. Fielder coming around quite quickly there and preventing the boundaries. So this over's gone well for Delray Rollins. Only 4 runs off the over.
They need a boundary. They need a big one. They need a 6. I'm telling you, we're going to be having a change in the come box to take it home. Dropped it. So we're going to have a double change here in the com box, and Vinod will be coming in shortly to go with Dr. Menta.
Thank you, Ivor. Interesting phase of the match. Last 5 overs coming up. 118 for 5 at the moment, Punjab Blues. Jaskaran Malhotra, 64 of 38 deliveries, and Ashley Nurse has joined. And this pair, Ivor, will have to become a bit creative in the last 5 overs to make magic.
Yes, because the last over would have only realized some 5 runs, 5 singles, and they're going to need boundaries. And in the absence of Vinod, we're going to have Sasha keep you company.
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. Me instead of Vinod, so don't be too disappointed.
I think I got cheated here.
And
I want my money back, Sasha.
I'm afraid you're going to have to ask Vinod for that one. Punjab Blues 118 for 5 with 5 overs remaining. It's a big ask to get to the grand total for the win here, wouldn't you say?
Yes, this is all about T20, isn't it? The last 5 overs. First over, first ball, and he pulls it towards deep square leg for 4.
Yeah, good start to the over. They're going to need a lot more of those, but both these two batters are more than capable of getting there. Malhotra 68 off 39, and Ashley Nurse we saw yesterday coming out with the big sixes for the win for the Punjab Blues, their second of 2, and they're going to be looking for their third here. But as we say, it's a big ask.
It is a big ask, and if you look at the replay, he made nice room for himself while he pulled the ball towards deep square leg, knowing that the ball was coming towards the onside, and he moved himself towards the offside, made nice room to whip it towards deep square leg.
Yeah, Malhotra 68 off 39. He is now facing Seals, who's gone for 22 off his 2.1 overs so far. 4 off the over. And let's see what he can do next.
The Blues are undefeated so far, aren't they?
Yep, correct. 2 from 2.
And that's a wonderful stroke. He again moved on the offside, made room for himself, and swung the bat nicely, again putting it in the same general area of deep square leg for 4 runs all along the ground.
Yeah, that felt a little deja vu, didn't it?
Absolutely. And if we just think about Jaskaran playing shots for 6s in the air, the last 2 strokes will tell you that he can play strokes all along the ground as well.
Exactly that. And he moves on to 72. I don't want to jinx things, but we might see our first 100. Let's not get ahead of ourselves as Seals comes in. And Malhotra thought that was going to be a wide, but wide not given. But mistake from the keeper there, John Simpson, and they've scampered through for the single.
Yeah, Jaskaran was not happy about it. I think he's even still talking to the umpire about that. Looking at the replay, it was a close call, close call.
Yeah, they're having a giggle there between the umpire and Malhotra. So, all is okay. Don't we worry. Captain Carl Coetzer just making sure everyone's in the right position before Seals bowls his 4th ball of the over.
Some fielding changes happening. They are moving the deep third man up a little closer for Ashley Nurse. Hits him on his pad and thought about a single, but Seals was very quick on his follow-through and completely avoided that single. So a dot ball, which is quite precious, Sasha, at the present time.
Yeah, exactly right. I was about to say exactly the same thing. Punjab Blues 127 for 5. 2 balls remaining in the over. They're going to have to get a couple more boundaries. We saw 4 and then a 4 off the first 2 balls. I think we're going to have to see a couple more of those from Ashley Nurse now as Seals comes bounding in.
And this time he punches it towards deep mid-on, and they walk across for a single, which brings up Malhotra on strike for the last ball of the 16th over.
Malhotra 72 or 41 deliveries. He's been hitting some lovely shots, some big shots as well. And let's see if he can do that again at the 15th, the last ball of the 16th over, apologies. And that's a good ball from Seals, just keeping it tight there. They're going to run through for a 1, or amble through I should say. There was no rush there. And at the end of the 16th over, Punjab Blues 129 for 5. Seals goes for 28 runs off his 3 overs.
So I'm looking at the equation, 4 overs left, and pulling up the scorecard here to get the exact number, what they need.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit MAQgroup.com.
So 209, the total that they need to get to win this match. They're a little bit behind at the moment. They're going to have to start swinging. And that is exactly what he's done. He's swiped that nicely away down to long on. And the fielder was just a little bit wide and couldn't quite reach it. I think it was Mulaney chasing round. And that's a 4 for Malhotra, who moves on to 77.
We need to see more of the same from Jaskaran as he faces the next delivery. And this time he punches it on the offside and he gets a single. And the strike now comes to Ashley Nurse. The score moves on to 134 for 5. Singles are not going to cut it, Sasha.
No, and Malhotra, the experienced man at the crease at the moment, but as I say, yesterday we saw Ashley Nurse finishing it off for the Punjab Blues, and he is more than capable. That is a big swing and a miss though, and the ball flies into John Simpson's hands. Halfway through the 17th over as Rawlins comes in again, and that was a slightly quicker ball, came onto the bat of Ashley Nurse quicker than he expected there, and he couldn't do much about that, but dab it away onto the leg side.
Jaskaran Malhotra appeared to be a bit frustrated with that particular move of that pushing it on the onside. This time he swipes it to deep mid-wicket. Again they amble across for an easy single. But as I said earlier, and Sasha too, that singles are not going to cut it if they want to win this match and remain unbeaten in this 13th edition of the US Open. And this time Jaskaran goes big. It's going to be short of the fielder on the offside. It was one bounce to the fielder, and it was ordinarily a stroke that Jaskaran would pull it over mid-off for a 6, but this time mistimed partially, but that is the end of the over. 17 overs are completed, 3 more overs to go. Malhotra batting on 79 of 45, and Ashley Nurse batting on 5 of 10 deliveries. Sasha, so at the present time, with the last 3 overs, this is real crunch time, and it's do or die for these two batsmen for Punjab Blues.
Yeah, and Rawlins finishes his 4 overs, 28 from it. So not the worst figures, but no wickets, which is what he really would have wanted. And we see Malhotra moving on to 79 of 46 balls. We've seen some high scores during this tournament. Nitesh Kumar scoring at 84. He comes in at top. Chadwick Walton, 79. Malhotra joining him at second. We've seen Singh, 76, not out, and Bilal Qureshi, 74. So can Malhotra come out top? He's on 79, as I say, joint second with Walton there, but 84 is the score to beat.
Malhotra has to get 100, doesn't he?
I would say so, and I've said before earlier today, we've seen first of many things, first hat-trick, the first fifer, and the first 200 score. Are we going to see the first 100?
I think this is the time.
And Sharif comes back into the attack. He went for 1 for 9 off his 2 overs.
There has been constant breeze all day, Sasha, that is blowing across our right to left. And this time he swipes it across on the offside to deep extra cover, and they take a single. He wanted to place the ball between deep mid-off and extra cover, but the ball went straight to the fielder, leaving Ashley Nurse the strike, when Jaskaran probably wanted to keep the strike, quite honestly.
Yeah, he's batting really nicely, but as I say, Nurse is not the worst man to have at the crease with him at this particular moment. He's currently 5 off 9 balls, and he is more than capable of hitting a few big shots now. And here comes Sharif bounding in to the middle, and that is a short bouncer, and Ashley Nurse manages to just whack that away down to the boundary, and they managed to get a single. I think he would have tried to get a few more runs, but Malhotra back on strike.
There's a deep gap behind square leg, and had the ball traveled just a little right of the fielder at mid-wicket, it could have run for 4. And now Jaskaran taking the strike off Sharif. And this is a wide. It's wide outside the off stump. The previous occasion when Jaskaran was facing, he was a bit perturbed that the umpire did not call a wide. This time it was quite obvious, and Jaskaran had no reaction, but is quite happy to take that wide.
Yeah, and as you can see on the screen, 70 runs to win off 16 balls. It's looking quite tough now, isn't it?
It is, unless he does that 6 ball 6 sixes again, Sasha, which Congress has not passed a law that you cannot do it twice.
No, not impossible, not impossible, and that's what the Punjab Blues will be thinking. And that's a wide full toss, and Malhotra does all he can, but it's not enough, and they just get another single.
Now it seems to be getting more and more difficult with Jaskaran off the strike and Ashley Nurse back at on the batting side. He's going to be facing Sharif, and 15 balls, 69 runs seems more and more improbable as Sharif runs right arm over the wicket into Ashley Nurse. And this is a stroke that he has been trying earlier, and this time he succeeds, puts it away on the onside in the mid-wicket area for a mighty 6. That is a lovely stroke.
Yeah, let's watch that again. Here we go. Yeah, that's a lot of muscle behind that ball. And lovely 6 there. It kept low and flat.
Oftentimes it's difficult to hit certain full tosses, but that time he timed it quite well and placed it well also to the left of the fielder at mid-wicket, which fetched him those 6 runs.
Exactly right, and as we've said, Nurse is more than capable of hitting these shots. He's 12 off 11 now. Punjab Blues move on to 146 for 5 with 2 remaining balls in the 18th over. And here comes Sharif. And that has gone straight back over his head for a 4. That is a lovely shot.
That was very well executed. Back-to-back boundaries, well, a 6 and a 4. 10 runs of the last 2 deliveries. They will need a lot more because it's almost coming down to more than 4 runs a ball.
It's getting very tough.
And that's a deep ask.
Yeah, Punjab Blues now reach the milestone of 150. Nurse still on strike as Sharif comes in for the final delivery of the 18th over. And that came up pretty high on Nurse, who couldn't do much about it. Tried to have a swing, but to no avail, and dot ball to end the over.
150 for 5, and now 2 overs left and 59 to win, Sasha. It's, I believe it would be a foregone conclusion now that the Punjab Blues would be registering their first defeat of the tournament.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with themselves. They played really well in the last 2 games, and they were just a little bit sloppy in the field. And the bowling, they gave away just too many runs, 208 for only 2 wickets. And Punjab Blues probably felt the pressure as they came into bat, and a couple of their early wickets were probably unnecessary. They got out to unnecessary shots, and as you can see, 150 for 5 with 2 overs to go, and I think it's going to be too many runs for the Punjab Blues to get.
But full marks to Mr. Cullum and full marks to Mr. Rawlins for that magnificent partnership. They 64 and 75 respectively. That is what was the difference between these 2 teams.
So coming up next, we have NDCC Mace Royals versus the Somerset Cavaliers. So make sure you don't go anywhere. It's going to be an epic evening of cricket. And Hamza Tahir back in for his final over of the match. And again, they just scamper through for a single.
I think I'm looking at the body language of Jaskaran Malhotra, and it seems a bit dejected that this is an uphill task from this point on.
It is, but if we can get anything from it, he can reach his century. And that is huge. That has gone miles in the air, but it's caught. Caught in the deep. I thought he had a lot more on that than he did, and Ashley Nurse is out for 16. Let's have a look at that again if we can, because that looked like it was going a long way.
It was going a long way, and the bat speed was amazing there, and I think he got all of it, but went straight to the fielder, who just had a couple of steps to take in his front and caught the ball. And this probably is pretty much the end of a chase that was started quite well by Jaskaran after losing 4 quick wickets for his team, and to come back and make a match out of that after losing 4 quick wickets. That tells you the caliber of Jaskaran Malhotra, Sasha.
Yeah, exactly right. And Tahir gets his 4th wicket, and he's bowled really nicely. 3.1 overs, 13 runs and 4 wickets. That's really tight.
That is brilliant bowling, and he has been able to contain them. What is interesting about him is that he has manipulated his line, because when they have been trying to hoist the bowlers on the onside, he has been able to keep it more on the offside, which always makes the batsman think what the next delivery or what the next plan of the spinner is.
Oh, apologies. That's a fifer for Tahir. That was his fifth, not his 5th, his 5th wicket. And today has just been a day of many firsts, and now we see the second fifer of the tournament.
Or as Sunil Gavaskar would say, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Exactly right, exactly right. And that's incredible bowling. 5 wickets for just 13 runs.
And Sasha, 5 wickets in a T20 match is monumental. I mean, that is a huge accomplishment. You get 5 wickets in an ODI or in a test match, that has a completely different connotation compared to somebody getting a fifer in a T20 match where you only have 24 deliveries, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Out of those 24, 5 are wicket-taking deliveries. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, a 5th of his balls have been wickets. And Jay Singh, the new man at the crease. Malhotra is on strike, however. He's 82 off 49 deliveries, just 2 runs away from being the joint top scorer of the tournament so far. But Jay Singh, the man on strike here. Oh no, it is Malhotra on strike, apologies. You can tell by the white hat. And just a single.
And we talked about the white hat, Sasha. When you or I, one of us, end up interviewing Jaskaran at some point in time, I would like to know the story behind the white hat.
I'm sure he'll have lots to say about it as Tahir comes back into the attack, and Singh can't do a lot about it. He just nudges it back into Tahir's hands. 1 more ball left of the 19th over. 57 to win off 7 balls. Pretty impossible now. In fact, it is impossible. And a dot to end the over, and Hamza Tahir finishes with figures of 5 for 14.
That is man of the match like performance.
He's definitely put himself forward.
Whether you give it to a bowler who gets you a 5-for, or whether you go with
McLeod.
Rollins is 75 or McLeod 64, or make them joint men of the match, remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's been a great team performance from the Scorpions. They've got 1 over left, and we already know that they have won this game, but 1 more over to go, and Malhotra 83. So I think the excitement left of this game is to see whether Malhotra can make his 100.
That is correct. I think the fact that the Scorpions will win the match is a foregone conclusion at the moment, and he has just changed his hat. He's back on his orange helmet to face Safian Sharif, who will be bowling the last over. The lights have turned on, Sasha, in preparation for the last match coming up after the conclusion of this particular over.
Yeah, as a reminder, NDCC Mace Royals versus the Somerset Cavaliers coming up next. But here's the last over of this game 2 in day 5, and we're going to start with the wide.
Looking at the number of wides bowled in this tournament, I want to look at how many wides have been bowled. It seems like more than the usual.
Yeah, there have been a few loose balls by the bowlers during the tournament, really pushing the boundaries as much as they can in order to stop their opposite batters scoring runs, and Malhotra just nudges that down to long on and gets a single from it. So Jay Singh on strike, 154 for 6, 5 balls remaining.
Sasha, there goes your desire for Malhotra to get 100.
Indeed, but he is now joint top scorer of the tournament at 84, so let's see if he can get one more run and make himself the only top scorer. And Sharif into the attack again, and Jay Singh gets the single, so he's off the mark. Not that it's particularly important at this stage, but Malhotra does go back on strike, and he is currently 84 52 deliveries. And 54 to win off 4 balls. Yeah, not going to happen.
16 short of 100, Sasha.
Yep, he needs to hit some big shots there, and with a ball like that, he's not going to get anywhere close. That was a lovely ball from Sharif.
He just tried to open his bat and let the ball glide down to deep third man. However, there are 2 fielders there, a short third man and a deep third man. So that ball was probably not going anywhere, even if he had made contact.
So 3 deliveries left of this game. Punjab Blues chasing a rather big total from the Scorpions. They needed 209 to win. And full toss there to Malhotra, who just managed to get the toe on it. And just a single from it. So this has been a great over from Sharif at the death.
With Malhotra moving to 85, that makes him the highest scorer of the tournament so far.
Yeah, exactly right, and that's a great innings from him. He's batted really nicely, and you can see his head is lowered. He should be proud of what he's achieved personally, but he'll be really disappointed that his team couldn't get over the line tonight. And here comes Sharif, and Singh didn't get hold of that ball, just pushed away onto the leg side, and they'll get another single. So we're down to the last ball of this game. 52 to win off 1 ball.
We can say that again, Sasha. But I think individual brilliance by Jaskaran Malhotra, he would be happy about that, but the collective performance of the bowling unit especially, and the top batsmen, left a lot to be desired for the Punjab Blues, who until now were unbeaten, but now they'll be down 2-1 with 2 wins and 1 loss in this tournament.
Exactly right, and that is it. We are finished here, and the Scorpions win by 51 runs. That's a comprehensive win.
So now, in terms of the standings, the Blues, even though they are 2-1, they still have a chance. Looking at the scorecard, 158 for 6. Sunny Sohal for 6, Syed Abdullah for 1, Johar scored only 4, Harpreet got a naught, I was saying Imran Tahir, but it's Hamza Tahir, who took the first 3 wickets. Malhotra not out for 86, Jaya Surya scored a quick 40 of 26 deliveries, Ashley Nurse 16 of 14.
Yeah, Malhotra, his 86 really stands out in that scorecard. He batted really nicely. And let's have a look at the bowling figures. Well, it's clear who the standout bowler is for the Florida Scorpions. Hamza Tahir, 5 wickets, 14 runs off his 4 overs. Hugely impressive. And the only other wicket going to Sharif, who goes for 29 runs off his 4 overs. Seals, Rawlins, Mullaney, Greaves and McLeod all bowled as well, but as we say, Tahir, 5 wickets, so the second fifer of the tournament and only 3 extras, which is pretty tight. So here we come to the conclusion of game 2 of day 5, Florida Scorpions beating the Punjab Blues. And we're going to take a break, a Mad Hatter's tea break, before we come back for game number 3. NDCC Mace Royals taking on the Somerset Cavaliers. Get excited, we'll see you soon.
MAQ Group is a real estate investment company. Our goal at MAQ Group is to provide you with the expertise and service you need to do business in today's complex market. More information visit macgroup.com.
The Fantasy Sports League is the easiest and most fun way to earn money to your favorite sport, cricket. US Open Fantasy is giving you an amazing chance to get rich and win up to thousands of dollar prize money every day. Just download the US Open Fantasy app. Choose the match, choose the wicket keepers, batsmen, all-rounders and bowlers. Yes, you can create your own team with your favorite captain and vice-captain too. And your team is ready now. Just select a contest to participate and stay tuned to live scores. To download the app, visit website www.usopenfantasy.com.
Here's the DJ Bravo. How you do the slow ball? Like you do that, I want to know all the kids and then junior players can learn from your experience.
Slower ball, I keep my grip the same way. So 2 fingers on the seam of the ball. On point of delivery, my wrist, this is what turns. So I turn my wrist like this, and I flick out the ball with my thumb and my finger out. So that's the slower ball.
So you're releasing the ball on by finger
From in front.
and they go like this.
Yeah.
And then slow ball. That's why you got
Point like that.
There you go. Here's the slow ball. So learn.
Slower ball, delivery, twist.
Twist.
Yes, twist with the wrist.
Here's the DJ Brown. The MCL is Major Cricket League is not just for the Pakistan, Major Cricket League for all over the world, number 1. So all foreign investor, they can invest the money, foreign investor. Let's assume we're doing in Pakistan now, MCL. So Pakistani, Indian, Caribbeans and all, they like to invest the money on where the good cause is, which is we providing opportunity to every country, not just for our country, USA, we bring in every country. So once they're playing, this is international player hunting programs, Major Cricket League. So we investing the money for the talents who's been hide or hidden by some reason. So they're coming up and show them exposure and show them talents what they have. So there will be opportunity for the all investors have to fair chance to the players to see that country could not taking care of them. We will hear for international scales investor, give them opportunity for the charity way, you can look at it, and sponsor way. So we doing the program start in Pakistan, then a program is built, all international investor can be invest the money in there, and that money will be good cause for the players, give them opportunity, player hunting. So same thing next event we starting, we will invest money on Hafizabad, a lot of them Pakistani foreigners and Americans, and also many other nation, they invest the money who love the cricket and who like to see more international top players come out. So they have wonderful cricket they've been watching year around. Same opportunity we offer them Caribbean MCL, going to be launched in MCL. So all international investor can invest the money in Caribbean, India, and the next step, India also MCL, and UK and MCLs, and Canada definitely will be MCL. We're going to play Major Cricket League because they have a lot of talents there and have not got opportunity. So that's the program is worldwide programs for MCL Major Cricket League.
Hi, this is Rehma Sleem, host of US Open Cricket. Please watch me live on MAQ TV from December 6 to December 13.
Dr. Malik is the CEO and Director of Anesthesia and Pain Care Services. He is also the adjunct clinical professor at Pikeville Osteopathic Medical College in Pikeville, Kentucky. Anesthesia and Pain Care Services is a comprehensive interventional pain center providing care for patients in Richmond, Kentucky. At the center, the goal of Dr. Malik and his professional team is to provide both short-term and long-term countermeasures to improve patient quality of life. Their motto is, "Why live in pain when it can be treated?" Dr. Malik recognizes the importance of an integrated approach to pain management, one that is tailored to individual needs. He and his team strive to enhance patients' quality of life by reducing acute or chronic pain, thereby increasing patients' ability to enjoy daily activities once again. In 1988, Dr. Malik received his medical degree from the Allama Iqbal Medical College in Lahore, Pakistan. Thereafter, he went on to complete his anesthesiology training in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and the University of Kentucky Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky. He also completed his fellowship training in pain management at the University of Cincinnati in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dr. Malik is board certified in anesthesiology and has a subspecialty certification in pain management from the American Board of Anesthesiology. Dr. Malik holds professional memberships with several organizations, including the American Board of Medical Specialties, the American Society of Interventional Pain Physicians, and the American Society of Anesthesiologists. Throughout his life, Dr. Malik has been involved in professional sports and athletics, winning numerous athletic awards and scholarships. This has given him first-hand knowledge of sports injuries and an uncommon insight into diagnosing and alleviating sports-related pain.
Let's stay with cricket news.
Dil Pakistan. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're here at the post-match presentation, an awesome performance by the Florida Scorpions. I'm sure the people of Florida, they're very happy the way this team are performing because this is the state of Florida. With me is Hamza Tahir, who took 5 for 13 to ensure that the powerful Punjab Blues were left singing the blues this afternoon. He's our man of the match, and he's going to receive the award from MAQ TV's Huba Salim. Well, Hamza, just a quick word. How it's like bowling out there?
I think bowling out there is quite tough. I think the wicket's very good, but we know we've got runs on the board, so I think we just kept the plan very simple and we came out with the win.
Tell me, how are you enjoying this tournament and the standard that you see here?
Well, it's my first year here, so for me, I think the standard's very good. I think it could be a little bit better, but I think slowly we'll get there, and I think everyone's enjoying Miami.
I want to wish you all the best. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. So you've heard it there from Hamza Tahir, the man of the match. And let me hand you back to Master Control. Oh, yeah. No, before that. Right. Who you all played? You got 82. Yeah, come. Oh, it's before the trophy.
They're trying to catch up on the.
Yeah. But that first game was against who?
I don't know.
You don't mind teaming 82?
You can look at the cricketer book quickly. I have to go back.
That game must have